as well. And so, interested to see what comes out here. 2 AD carry bans already, so Ashe jumps up in priority as well as Jhin.
Sivir ban as well, so I like that from NRG. Malzahar kind of adding to the standard list of champions banned away. Looks like no surprises just yet. Let's see what NRG's second ban is here with 20 seconds left.
Expect a mid lane ban to come through as well. And NRG have been doing more target bans as their style. And things like Allow, we've been banned against them constantly. But there goes the Karma. Don't want to have that first picked away. So Rek'Sai now becomes your priority first pick.
Smart takeaway there, as Biofrosters and a lot of other supports in the summer have looked excellent on that particular pick. Can also flex mid as well. We've seen Bjergsen play it at least once this season as TSM going to line up their final ban here. 10 seconds left for Hauntzer to lock in his team's final ban. So they pick something like Vlad. GBM's had some good performances recently on a few different mid lane champions. But there's Alawi actually taken away from Quas.
Yeah, Alawi's been seeing more and more play. Immortals have picked it up, as well as NRG, of course. They're the ones who, Quas is bringing it out first. Kobe got really happy about that, but didn't see it too much afterwards because it was always banned. Nobody gets any practice against that champion.
And last ban is Bard, actually. So 2 bans away from Biofrost and 3 total bottom lane bans from NRG. Pretty obvious spot there. Doublelift and Biofrost have looked exceptional recently. As the crowd continues to chant. If it's going to happen, I don't think it's going to happen first pick. Hauntzer, it's going to take away Vlad.
It's going to take a while. Exactly. They're going to take away the Vladimir. Santorin will probably go for the Rek'Sai here. Want to take that Vlad away from GBM, but you don't want Svenskeren to have his hands on that Rek'Sai as well. Might get AD carry here too, just because multiple ban.
Yep, we've got Ashe and Jhin, I guess, as the next 2 AD carries to sort of fall down to. Santorin going to hold what I assume is still his favorite champion in Evelynn. So maybe could see some play today, depending on how he's feeling. But I do expect Rek'Sai, like you mentioned, probably something safe like support or AD carry. There's nothing too obvious left open unless Quas wants to take maybe Trundle, but the solo lane picks have been generally very open.
Yeah, and NRG, of course, they're going to take this very seriously, and they're going to draft incredibly seriously, because the difference between 8th place and 9th place, if NRG wins this match, not just this game, they move to 8th place, they actually go above Phoenix 1, and that means that they play the winner of Echo Fox versus Team Liquid Academy, and they avoid Cloud9 Challenger until the elimination match if they make it there.
Well, there's Rek'Sai and there's Braum, actually. It's been a real popular support, particularly for the likes of Kiwi Kid and Xpecial. They're still favoring a lot of those melee supports. As Bjergsen pandering to the crowd.
The thing is Vladimir's already locked in, so if Vladimir's not their mid laner, it's not necessarily a Bjergsen Teemo if it does get locked in.
Bjergsen was going to do it no matter what, I think. At this point, it doesn't even matter. This is genius from Team 30 seconds now. We'll see what TSM actually have in mind, or at least game number 1. Don't forget there's at least 2 games, so crowd may have to wait. Ashe and Shen locked in there for TSM, who also, again, despite having locked in first place, have no reason to not finish their season strong.
Exactly. Good. Don't want to show too many new things as well heading into playoffs. Give your opponents as much research as possible, but they're still going to play that Hauntzer special of the Shen. And Doublelift on the Ashe, is this going to be the champion that he gets that 1,000th career regular season kill on? It might be. He just is 9 away.
Have to keep tracking it as NRG locking up their next few picks here. Cassiopeia's seen a lot of play, but GBM has never really been one to play the standard champions. He's played a lot of Xerath recently, might go back to it here. And Oki also potentially considering an AD carry pick as well.
Yeah, I actually don't dislike the Kog'Maw here, because Kog'Maw Braum is actually a kill lane, and you would have a ton of pressure with it, especially against something like an Ashe. You tag her, she's got no escapes.
We're going to have to wait because there's Jackson Ezreal for NRG. So Quas going to take trusty top laner there into the tank of Shen, and OQ back to a comfort pick as well. But Ezreal starting to see a little bit more play, especially as AD carries get attention on the ban list. Sif has been a very common first pick or ban.
Yeah, there used to be this trifecta a couple years back of Shen, Renekton, Jax, and the Trinity. And so Jax into Shen, very big throwback here, but Shen now has a dodge zone. A lot of Jax's auto attack damage is his primary source of damage. He's stacking up his passive as well as his R passive. So Shen has a little bit of an edge now. But we'll end up seeing what gets picked here.
Yeah, I've seen actually quite a bit more Taric, and it will be locked in for TSM. Nidalee as well for Svenskeren. Nice aggressive carry-oriented jungler for the man. But Tarek's been a champion that I've been very impressed with it. It's nice to see the pro players kind of finally start picking it up and experimenting with it.
Yeah, it's incredibly strong, especially when you have a team that wants to dive. And things like Vladimir, the Cosmic Radiance, you still deal damage during it. So Vladimir just gets back to full health when he was so low right before it goes off.
We actually saw NRG use a very similar strategy yesterday, using that Vladimir Sivir Tarek star combination. So no Sivir, of course, with that being banned away, but you can see kind of all the elements there for TSM. And Vlad, a pick that's actually held over surprisingly well despite the changes, was very strong to start the summer. Bjergsen showed up on that pick like a lot of other mid laners did. But it seems like a lot of players still do favor it, but GBM looks like he might just take Cassiopeia, which has been, for me, the other big mid laner at least this weekend. We've seen so many Cassios, just, I think particularly of Apex Liquid yesterday. Keen and Phoenix are just trading huge Cassio games.
Yeah, it's great too, because whenever we're giving out like player of the game, it's really hard when somebody has Cassiopeia. They really skew stats. It's like the guy did so much damage, he like wasn't doing much early, survived, but then he just pops off, and then it'll trade sides, and it's like the other mid laner gets it, and it's like, well, Cassiopeia again, just such a huge force, especially when she can actually use the grounded mechanic to her advantage. A lot of people still haven't mastered that.
Yeah, certainly not, and such great follow-up CC. NRG certainly have all the pieces here to scale up nicely and win some team fights. Cassio's that's always an option for Cassiopeia, but TSM kind of like what their comp's doing here. Got a lot of different things going on. Huge utility in the bottom lane, big carry in the mid lane, and then a nice reliable split pushing tank in the top lane. Maybe Niddle is the only thing where it's like, okay, not really sure where this fits in, but clearly both teams, I think, happy with this draft for game one.
Yeah, I think both teams are quite happy with it. NRG got a lot of comfort here. Quas has his Jax, which he always brings Ghost on it, so he can be a consistent force in the fights as opposed to just the flash Counter-Strike, and that's it. But overall, both want to get that split push advantage, but I still think TSM, they're really good in the team fight. But also NRG have that Cassiopeia. Can't count that out either.
Well, certainly an interesting game one for both of these, but we are getting into games, so send these teams your energy on Twitter. Hit up the hashtag TSM win or the hashtag NRG win to push your squad to a win here today. It's the final game of the regular season for these two sides. TSM going to try and finish with an almost unblemished record, and NRG certainly some promotion tournament implications for them here. A win would not only be a big upset for them and a huge boost into the promotion tournament, but also some slightly better seeding there as well. So a lot on the line for both sides. TSM maybe a little bit more relaxed, but certainly a team that wants to finish strong here moving into playoffs as the first seed.
Yeah, and it's the big question here, right? It's like all those jokes aside, like the Timo Twitter and all that stuff like that, Weldon came onto the squad and it was all about consistency and not taking any team lightly. If they let up at the end of the split and they get relaxed, it kind of counters those teachings. It's all about ending strong, making sure that you are being an imposing force and you don't show any weakness to your enemies.
Certainly is, as we are going to see the teams move out now. Just kind of fanning out near the river, making sure they have that neutral vision checked down. Santorin's going to pop down a ward. Haunter and Quas going to meet for a little bit. Haunter actually going to challenge him here. Counter-strike up for Quas, does get the stun, but Haunter mainly just protecting that Trinket ward. Going to do some damage back there as well as NRG. Looks like they roamed in for a nice deep ward on the Krugs. As these two are still at it.
Yeah, but got the spear over the wall.
That's unfair. Quas taking a big trade there, but he's got a charge of the potion. Probably just going to drink that and go back home. Should be okay.
Still means they didn't get any lane swap wards on the top side, so it could be a later lane swap. See what happens here. Both, I think, are actually okay in their lanes. Ezreal can survive, wants to have a tier backing, but that still means he's okay in a lane swap, but doesn't look like either team's going to go for it.
Yeah, Double Lift and Bifrost actually still on this bottom side of the map. They do have their Krugs warded, so might have to be a little careful there. But should be okay. It looks like they are going to start there, and NRG have the information, but looks like they're happy to match standard lanes at least here for the first game.
How else are you going to get those 9 kills? Get those standard lanes going. Have Svenskeren gank early. He does have a topside route going for him. All the way to the bottom. Let's see how he ends up augmenting his route. This is really the only gankable lane as well as that bot side. You can go to the top and pick up the Jax. Especially since he has Ghost, it might be your avenue in with the Shen.
We'll see though.
Don't think you go through mid though.
I know. I don't think there's too much happening here. Unless Bjergsen and GBM really want to go for it. We've seen a lot of this matchup recently. Seems relatively even, but Bjergsen going to stay up early as Bifrost. Good stun onto OQ already. Getting feisty in the bottom lane here. Double Lift. He's looking ahead at those 9 kills.
They've already primed them. Now you're trying to push the wave, trying to get that level 2 quickly. Double Lift already hits it as well as OQ.
It's going to give them an advantage. So NRG will back away for now, make sure they play safely and just kind of let the creeps come to them. You can see Double Lift smartly holding the wave as Haunter and Quas, mano and mano. Haunter getting a first little edge, but Quas with a nice little stun to trade back.
And gets some damage back, but this Shen is no joke, honestly. The percent HP and the pull through, as well as the extra attack speed, just makes him such a bully in the early game.
Yeah.
I actually like this from Biofrost too, is he went up because Rek'Sai will always start on the left side of the jungle or go Gromp to the left side, or top side. And I guess it's red, so he'll always go from his red side and just clear that, or he'll go from his blue side to his red side. So he wards the blue, sees that Rek'Sai is coming in, gives him an advantage there. Quas,
Yep, flash for Haunter. I mean, no flash to follow there for Quas, has the Ghost, but that's a free summoner there for Quas.
Yeah, and this is what Biofrost was setting up for. Now you saw Double Lift and Biofrost shove the bottom wave because they had a ward here. Rek'Sai usually comes to this blue buff really late and hands it off to the mid laner, and this is just jungle control again. TSM since day one have been doing this type of strategy where they control the jungle to control the game.
Yeah, and really smart stuff. Couldn't pull Bjergsen out of the lane, so pulled the dual lane instead. Svenskeren probably continuing to play aggressive with the Nidalee, which has sort of been his style and a signature of TSM's play all summer long. GBM in the meantime, though, just farming back versus Bjergsen. Bjergsen up on CS ever so slightly, but not a huge lead there as Haunter pick up a little bit more, but uh-oh. That's not good, Haunter!
Oh.
Gonna put the dodge build up. Quas burns a counter-strike, and Haunter actually gonna stay safe for now. Should be okay. Quas needs a tower hit.
Yeah, now he's gonna hold it, so
Santorin's here as well. It's maybe the issue.
yeah, he's gonna hold it up there. Like, now you have to clear this wave. He saw where Santorin was, so now you get full permission to bring your Nidalee up top. And so Haunter clears the wave right out of turret range, and now Svenskeren comes up.
Dangerous. Good smite from Santorin, though, going to take their Gromp away. Svenskeren still wanting to chase, though. Happy to fight either of them. Maybe was going to get both, but they'll leap away over the wall and make sure they're safe. Haunter actually able to stay here, though, is good news for him. That Doran Shield giving him a bit of extra regen. Not forced back, despite the summoner blown early there.
Yeah. Quas was a little afraid to walk back up and ended up on the wrong side of the turret. If he was able to get to the top side and just help push that wave up, then the gank could have been successful. I think he was too afraid of the taunt, but I'm pretty sure it was used right before.
Good coverage despite all that from Svenskeren, making sure his top laner stays safe as Bjerg is going to keep things pushed in here versus GBM. Again, both champions looking to scale. As long as the farm stays even, we should be A-okay. Important to note that Bjergsen actually opts for Ghost. We've seen a lot of teleport Vladimirs recently, but GBM has Exhaust. So 2 combat summoners, or team fight summoners, I suppose, but his mid laners as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well because the Cassiopeia, you don't want to take Ignite. You'd rather go for an Exhaust, sometimes a Cleanse or the Ghost. But he goes for the Exhaust here just because it's multiple targets that it would benefit him using it on. But you'd really want an Ignite, but it's not an Ignite mid laner, so the support takes him instead.
That was really smart from Svenskeren. Just stop moving to turn off the Tremor Sense, and now going to go invade back in onto the Gromp. TSM. Still a team effort here, but kind of getting collapsed on a bit.
Yeah, here comes the TP.
Could be bad news. Double Lift caught out. Is he going to be the first kill of the game? Almost gets stunned, but Santorin's going to flash forward. There's the stun. And first blood goes to Rek'Sai. Now Quas looking to go in, gets a double stun there. Lands on the Svenskeren as he picks up a kill. Now Biofrost getting tagged as well by the Braum passive. Needs to get out from under it. Last auto needed. Who's going to get it? They are going to dive. Quas dives in for a Q, lands in an OQ. Gets himself a 3rd kill.
And that's 3 kills going over to NRG really early on in this game. 1,000 gold up for them. And all they lose is some pressure top, and that's it. Perfectly executed there to get the counter on this. Invade from Svenskeren. They spotted this out. Santorin with the Tremor Sense gets the leg up, and then misses the initial Q, but the double knockup, despite the dazzle, doesn't matter because the TP comes through, and then the flash from OQ for the follow-up, as well as Santorin, really wanted to kill him there, and then Quas's Ghost just gives him that distance, gives him the ability to chase down, and that's why he takes it every time. Every time I've seen him play Jax, he'll go for that summoner spell, and it seems to work out for him.
Certainly paid off there as NRG collapsed exceptionally to pick themselves up the gold lead here early on. We talked about NRG do certainly have a lot to play for here, despite their position in the standings, and TSM have to know that. A surprisingly risky invade from TSM actually cost them.
Yeah, you can't be that type of risky, or you can't be that risky in the early game. Now you're just giving your enemies some information like, hey, we're going to invade the jungle, even if it kills us. So countering their jungle invades, as opposed to being proactive onto TSM, might be the way to go in the future, because we've heard them say, you know, TSM, what are they? They're Baylife. They like to go in. They lose the game, well, they want to lose fast.
Well, you can see Haunter being able to get a bit of a farm advantage. Quas should catch up, though. He does have a dagger and some phage components. Plus, though, only getting stronger. Picked up a kill and an assist, so certainly be on Jack's watch just to see how strong Quas is able to get as the game continues. Energy in general will scale well into this game. TSM not too far behind them, but nice early lead is good news, certainly for Energy.
Oh yeah, you can't count almost any of these champions out of the late game. The junglers are kind of the ones that, you know, they've kind of teeter off there, but everybody else in this game scales incredibly well. And so if he can get his split push on in the top lane, this Jax Quas can become a huge boon for Energy, and it might open up the game for him.
Well, just checking in with mid and bottom lane there. Spirit Visage almost completed for Bjergsen, has his Kindle Gem and a Cow already finished. Tier vs Negatron collect there for GBM, so mid laners look like they're content to farm for now. Nice smite from Santorin, gets himself the Scuttle Crab as well. As Svenskeren still not done, despite how awry the first invade went. And Bifrost and Doublelift also playing aggressive. That's that BF sword versus Sheen plus Tier for Doublelift versus OQ.
Yeah. And you were talking about Svenskeren, I mean, he went for that invade, and we heard him earlier say that he thinks Santorin's good, but it's kind of easy to look good on a bad team. So definitely kind of an indication that he doesn't give Energy the type of respect that they're proving that they might need from a TSM.
And to be honest, Svenskeren looks best when he's playing pretty disrespectful League of Legends, and I say
True.
that in a
That's
very
true.
nice way. He's just so aggressive, so high pressure. Arrow mid! GBM! Oh, he gets nailed! Bjergsen, though, not there to follow up. Oh, he gets exhausted! He'll take the summon over GBM, going to try and turn things around. Bjergsen taking little damage as Spence here as well. Threads the needle, not quite. As it jams straight into that melee minion. Good attempt there from Doublelift. Important to note, GBM does not have cleanse.
Yep. Went for the exhaust instead, used it there. Bjergsen actually missed his Tides of Blood. Tides of Blood, you know, it doesn't go through minions. It'll stop on the first target it hits as a Nova, and there was a minion that was like right in front of him and blocked it, and he may have still been out of range regardless.
Well, nice arrow from Doublelift, but unfortunately no conversion there for the rest of TSM. Santorin now top lane just clearing a ward out of that piece of brush, making sure Quas is well covered there in his top lane adventures. Has picked up that Fate and now a second dagger for himself, so early Trinity Force well on the way here for Quas, who seems more than comfy in the matchup despite the CS discrepancy. Remember, he did teleport down to that bottom lane to give himself some kill and assist gold.
Yeah, and we're talking about CS discrepancies here. Across the board, TSM are ahead in every lane, and it's only a 200 gold advantage now for Energy, despite 3 kills going over to them. Like, TSM are just farming out of their minds, and Svenskeren is counter jungling and taking away a lot of this gold from Santorin. So overall, those kills are meaning very little right now in terms of the actual tangible leads.
And to add to that, we saw after those kills, Energy were up 1,000 gold. Now that gold lead shrunk to about 400 as OQ lets the ultimate rip there. Just going to clear the wave out. Looks like Doublelift's already gone back. Got himself some early Zerker Greaves, and Bifrost going in 1v2.
He's kind of baiting them because if he gets the
ultimate, it's there! Now the Shadow's going to follow in as well. Beautiful bait from TSM. Sven's going to hold one down. OQ gets taunted. Sven's going to hunt him down. He's trying to trade in. Doublelift fires off the arrow, but Haunter takes out OQ arrow. Don't think it landed on Kiwi, but they're still going to run for it. Bjergsen now here, ghosted down towards the bottom lane, but no chase forthcoming, just the 1 kill.
Yeah, no teleport as well from Quas because Hanser tried to get into that fight. Looks like he might have gotten interrupted multiple times because he had his TP too, so he used that and it still didn't go off.
It's true, actually.
Yeah.
Both globals burnt there from TSM's top laner, so Quas will have their TP advantage now.
Yeah, for 1 kill. Does give TSM the advantage back, though. And that caused Gradients. Biofrost was baiting because he saw Svenskeren was ready to back him up, and Bjergsen already had the mid-shove advantage, and that's just good communication there. When your mid laner is saying, all right, what can we do with me pushing up now? It's like, all right, there's this window here, and Biofrost set it up perfectly.
Yeah, some beauty there, certainly, in the Tarek plus Shen interaction. Good combination from TSM to net themselves a kill and kind of continue pressing some of their smaller CS leads. OQ does return to the lane.
Yeah, speaking of returning to lane, apparently it was to return to lane was the TP from Hanser.
Makes sense. So it did manage to get there, but...
Yep, he did do the taunt flash.
But his
then he
summon
went
is there
back
as
up
well. And Skaren, Runikeko is now completed. Just going to leap himself onto the Raptors and take those down. Santorin, actually busy bot lane, going to try and clear out a pink ward perhaps, but TSM protecting their ward for now. Can't protect it for too much longer, as NRG will team up to make sure they take it out. Santorin maybe looking mid, perhaps, is trying to stay active here, but falling pretty woefully far behind Svenskeren on farm, and it's not helping that Sven's taking his jungle as well.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's taking your jungle, they're taking your CS. It's like denying, right? It's supposed to be yours. Nope. I have a person to take it. Those neutral objectives, when you're able to fight over them, it's honestly like, if I take a 50 neutral gold objective from you, I'm basically going up 100.
Mm-hmm. That little gold swing, and you can see Sven not done. He's actually busy in NRG's red side jungle, taking everything he can. Did See a ping there, so I believe they know Sven's trying to take these buffs away. I think Santorin wants to
Santorin's
answer. He's on top of a ward though. Not a good spot to be, and I don't think he can stay here unless NRG want to move in together. Sven is just taking everything.
Yeah, he wants to stay for that red buff because it's almost up, but that gives Sven just free reign of the top side jungle. And they know that he's around here. Bjergsen now playing towards the top side. So Quas has to just give up all this CS and fall further behind.
Yeah, he's getting forced off. Haunter actually proxied a wave between the outer turret and the inner turret there, which is real bad times as a top laner.
This is actually really good communication from both teams because when you're making a play on one side of the map, the other side has to back off. So TSM, despite having a little bit of an advantage in this bottom lane, they still back off of the turret because they say, well, you know, we don't have our jungler here. Santorin, though, he stayed around a very long time, and now Svenskeren is here.
Yeah, he's back to collect his big crud money, which he does do. And now onto his own red buff, so continuing to get a huge lead in the jungle matchup. Important to know, NRG did take the bottom outer turret as a result of all that pressure, so they got themselves a turret and a bit of extra gold, but you look at the gold lead now and it's even, and that's with NRG up a tower and 2 kills. Just showing you how efficiently TSM are farming. Arrow flies again, hits GBM again! Tides of blood following in. There's the Hemo flag, and Sven's gonna follow in the arrow. GBM's dead this time. Bjergsen with the kill.
Even with the exhaust coming through, still gets the kill. Svenskeren there for the backup, and Doublelift backs off, takes aim, takes the shot.
And Sven again back onto the blue buff. Santorin. It's a real bad time to be NRG's jungle as Svenskeren is dominating jungle control. 14 minutes into this game. He is so far ahead. He's 3 levels ahead.
Yeah, this is actually ridiculous. This Nidalee, one of the things that makes her so ridiculous in solo queue is that she farms so quickly, but we'll talk about that in a second. Because double globals.
Wants to come back in, Santorin going to use the ulti down as well. TSM standing in 5 to the other. Shen, Doublelift going to be stand united upon, but Biofrost now invulnerable from the Cosmic Radiance. They need to play this well. Quasso trying to chase down the carries, but he's going to almost get taunted, forced to leap out of the way as Bjergsen's here as well. Double stun from Biofrost, lands in onto 2, and now Quass is going to get chased down. Sven also throwing spears in. Has almost got one, and Bjergsen moves in for the kill onto Quass. Now Sven going to chase down Kiwi Kid, and he's going to leap away to safety. GBM here, but it's a little too late. It's barely enough to save Kiwi. No, it's not. He goes down, and there's the double.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be good for NRG with the double globals, but the Cosmic Radiance from Taric buys enough time. Shen ultimate comes through, and that's that bottom turret going over to TSM.
Wonderfully played from TSM as they even up the turrets and get themselves actually pretty far ahead in gold. 3,000 gold up at 15 minutes is no small lead.
Not at all. 3 levels up for Svenskeren, like you were saying. And this is just the Cosmic Radiance playing against the Taric. It's a different type of beast here. You usually have to call off a lot of the plays because it buys so much time. Haunter backs, starts getting that stand united through as soon as he backs, so he's able to buy and get him in there. And now you can see Svenskeren and Bjergsen are both coming from the mid lane. Quas eventually sees this, backs off, but then right there, great flash while the Dazzle is charging. He gets the double stun to back it up. Quas ends up going down off of Bjergsen, and then just the chase down here. Santorin to the left. The GBM, a lot of that play, the reason it happened was NRG wanted to fight. TSM still knew that GBM was down and had no way to get there. The arrow kill from earlier, you still have to respect that. NRG, when you have 4 people on the map and you're trying to make a global play like that, if it lasts long enough and it gets stalled out, you're going to get collapsed on by 5.
Yeah, fun to see the tower dive potential there as well. Deceptively tanky team between a Shen, a Vladimir, and a Nidalee to heal you. Looks like mid tower's going to go down. GBM eats a spear. Sven can't hop out, but he does now pounce out of the way of the miasma. But it looks like that's just going to be mid tower falling. There it goes down. Quas and Taunts are still fighting. Haunter starting to win some of these trades here.
Yeah, has those armor items right now. He'll be working on a Spectre's Cowl, I assume, is his next item. And the Trinity Force still isn't going to cut it just yet. It's 40 CS up, though, for Haunter. He's just had a really good time in this lane.
NRG going to have to be a bit more patient. Another spear from Svenskeren. This looks like a tower dive.
Yeah, but now they're just going to go top, right? You push the mid laner out, go top, get 2 kills here. Bjergsen almost has his ghost back, but no, still not. It's not going to be able to pick it up.
This also looks like a tower dive as TSM just going to push their way in here to the top lane. Looks like they are going to give it up, though. They're happy just to take the outer turrets and collect a bit of extra CS there for Doublelift. But total map control right now for TSM. 3 turrets to 1. Gold leads there. Kills finally caught back up. Everything's going well, except Doublelift has no kills. That's the only bad thing about this game.
Yeah. Hasn't picked up any. Still sitting at 991. Who knows? Maybe by the end of the game they start spoon-feeding him.
Just watch him insta-lock Vayne in game 2. He's like, screw this, I'm not playing Ash anymore. Because the Rift Herald goes over to them as well. Looks like Sven's going to be the one to pick it up here.
Yeah, Sven, it's a little surprising because normally you want your split pusher to have it, but it's the jungler that is just out farming, 2 levels up right now. He's 12.5. He's basically tied with Bjergsen for experience at the moment, and ahead of GBM and the solo laners of NRG. Like, that's how far ahead Svenskeren is.
Really exemplifying that carry is Haunter and Quas doing battle. Minion line there for Quas, but Haunter just standing his ground. Quas is like, yeah, can't really scrap with you right now. Haunter is happy to keep 1v1ing him, and that's bad news for Jax. He wants that side lane pressure, but Haunter currently has that initiative in the lane. Yeah,
and Quas is going to go build some magic resistance just to try and deal with that, because Shen primarily does that with the Sunfire Cape, as well as doing % HP damage, which is the magic damage source that he has.
Well, NRG, again, just trying to farm up in their side lanes, but looks like TSM going to move in for their first Drake of the game. It is a Cloud Drake, fairly late, but better late than never.
Yeah, they got an Ocean Drake earlier that they were able to sneak.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Yeah, it was something I didn't even notice as well, because it ended up happening during a point where it was like, oh, not much action going on. They ended up sneaking it, so see what happens with this second Drake, because the Ocean Drake has been keeping them afloat in a lot of these lanes. And when you get those types of advantages where you can shove the enemy out, or even just trade with them like Haunter's been doing, speed up Quas, back off, you're going to regen way more than him.
I just love it. I think even the Drakes have aligned to make sure Svenskeren has the best game ever.
That's true. Farm in the jungle does not put it on cooldown, so he still gets to just be an absolute machine here. Nidalee loves it too.
Took another blue buff, and this could be TSM applying a bit more pressure. Torn in onto Quas, but he's a little safer now. Bjerg's going to dive back in, and that's just a kill. Double lift, picks up one.
Just so much damage, and the Cosmic Radiance comes down for insurance there from Biofrost, just in case they get turned around on.
And looks like Bjergsen actually looking up for a dive here. He's so tanky, Stand United. Gonna ride him into the backline, and Hero playing onto the carries. Taunt not gonna be there, and GBM and OQ flash out of the way, but they got them off the turret. That's all they wanted.
And they got the summoner spells as well. If I'm gonna use a Shen ultimate and a Ghost for 4 summoner spells, that's definitely worth it there. So TSM is getting a large advantage off of that play, the pressure and the turret. And they got double lift to kill. 992.
They did. 8 to go. As TSM now up almost 7,000 gold at 20 minutes in. It's just oppressive to play against a team with this much pressure and coordination.
Yeah.
Ben's going to face Jack Santorin and Braum, and not going to care because Biofrost running interference as well. Biofrost actually pretty far in. Svenskeren maybe needs to worry a bit more. He will flash out of the way, but Haunter fairly tanky. Going to put up the Spirit's Refuge in the front side. NRG just don't have the weapons to fight right now, although Biofrost getting a little low. Eats another Q. Haunter going to make sure he takes it. Ulti there, but it's not enough.
Yep, flashes off to the side there to avoid it. So Biofrost barely getting out. And now OQ's on poke duty. He's just trying to kite them out, trying to get some pressure. But you still have to get Bjergsen out of the lane if you ever want that turret.
Yeah, might be able to force something here, but Bjergsen very healthy on the 2-item Vladimir. Even has the finished boots, so that'll be NRG calling off the potential siege. TSM going to reset, go back and spend some of their money. Sven has already finished his Rylai's, and now what a fiendish Codex. Had a blasting one for a second there, but it's funny to see, but Sven is a giant Italy at this point of the game.
He's absolutely huge. Rylai's already completed, higher level than both solo laners on NRG still. He's almost level 14. He's very close.
Take this blue buff as well. Vlad doesn't really need it.
Yep.
Double lift actually may be a candidate as well, but could just be here helping his jungle up. By the looks of things, Sven though, now level 14, going to continue taking all of that jungle. And Baron is up. TSM going to start to ward it. That's, okay.
Very rarely does Svenskeren actually get a blue buff though, so it's a...
He gets them all today.
It's a dark day for TSM.
His birthday? What's going on?
Bjergsen allowed him to have this one. Even has like a Smurf name that's like blue buff donator or something like that. It's like, it's basically a blue buff bot for his mid lane.
Maybe he'll continue to suggest that Bjergsen should play Vladimir, because I'm sure he's enjoying it so far. Again, continuing to take all of Santorin's jungle out from under him. He is 55 CS ahead of poor little Rek'Sai. Sad tournament today.
And Rek'Sai's, you know, we usually see the build where you go for Tiamat first, but he was just pushed out of the game so early on, despite even them picking up 3 kills. We just didn't see that convert into anything for NRG. Even though you're a scaling team, when you get a lead, you still have to be able to push that lead, composition or not. And that's exactly what TSM did.
Yeah, and we've seen this when Italy, gets going, but teams can't extend that lead. TSM are a team that absolutely know how to play with this sort of pressure, and it has been a team effort that have gotten them all this control around the jungle. They take another turret as the mid 2-2 falls down. Bjergsen pretty much solo holding GBM back towards his inhibitor turret there in mid lane, and TSM are just moving in for what looks like the last tier 2, and quite possibly at this point, Baron or inhibitor turrets.
God, they have so much pressure. It's kind of like clockwork. They go bottom, they leave Hanser bottom to continue to split push. He's going to be on that inhibitor turret now. Quas has no teleport. He's got to walk there.
Might have to ghost there, although it's down.
Yeah, but it still gives Hanser an avenue to make a play on the top side of the map.
So TSM not done, going to keep pressuring in. This top tier 2 is, I think, something NRG have to give away, and they will. But that's 6 turrets to 1 now.
And now GBM has come down bottom. Hanser has effectively pulled 2 people to him.
Boss is not winning this fight, though. Hanser might just stand and try and fight it out. I think he tried to get out there, but he's got stunned by GBM. And GBM's going to finally get a kill back.
And now the answer is, what does TSM do with this pressure? Do they start up the Baron? No. They bait it instead.
Arrow.
That arrow
lands on the Kiwi kid. Bjergsen going to follow in. Spear's good as well. Kiwi looks like he's going to get chunked out. A good double stun follows through from the Dazzle. And that's one onto Kiwi. Might keep chasing here. Bjergsen looking to slow down Santorin. He's got the Rylai's. He's pretty tanky. But Santorin probably not tanky enough. Will they dive? Bjergsen going to leap in for it. But TSM, they'll push instead.
Yeah, and that was a great Dazzle off the Bastion from Biofrost. He's been nailing it right now with Tarek. Like, 100% kill participation. Only person in the game that has that. There's been a lot of action around Biofrost.
And that's broken now. Oku eats a huge chunk of his health bar. Looks like ulti out, Sentinel to back up. Shen's ready to join the fray. Hanser looking to add more pressure and try and take out this mid in here, but might have been a little too much there from TSM as Quas backing onto Biofrost, but it's just some poke, and Bjergsen, he wants to bait them. Yeah, have to be careful.
Just used 2
Oh my god, that health. Bjergsen, though, knocked up. He now goes back in a Sanguine pool. Hanser here, but the ulti's out from Kiwi. Bjergsen gonna flash out to safety, but NRG still chasing. They've caught Biofrost. He's stunned up by Braum. Passive Quas still diving into the backlands as Biofrost does finally die to GBM. Double lift, though, outputting damage. Quas looking to go down to Svenskeren. He look for the flank. Now Nidalee gonna flash out of the way as GBM takes out double lift as well.
GBM
there. GBM looking to turn things around, but Hanser just continuing to fight. He won't go down. There's a flash that last auto, but there's the taunt in. Hanser gonna shut him down. Svenskeren, though, taking too much damage. Oku gonna clean him up. Hanser now stunned. 1v4 is the Shen, but he's pretty tanky. Might try and take out 1 or 2 with him. Quas getting a little low, but he leaps away. Bjergsen trying to dive his way back in as he dips back into the left-hand flank. Santorin trying to get his way out as Hanser just kiting him out of the way. Taunt's not enough. NRG get another kill. And now Bjergsen, 1v3, gonna try and take out Oku. Hemoplague, not enough, but Bjergsen still chasing. Tides of blood, not enough. Needs one more. Q's good. Bjergsen now on a rampage.
Well, Bjergsen just chasing him down, doesn't back off from the fight. The rest of NRG do. They leave OQ high and dry. And he had no HP to really deal with Bjergsen at all.
That was a long team fight. Let's see it again.
Are you okay? So I guess I'll take the replay, Pastry. So they already used the Cosmic Radiance. They already used the Shen ultimate. So it's a good plan from NRG to actually dive in and win this team fight there. But they can't get onto Bjergsen because he still has the flash and gets out. And then he just barely survives off the OQ ultimate by getting another transfusion. And GBM just starts taking over this fight. They exhaust onto double lift. This is why Cassiopeia takes that spell to slow people down to guarantee the Q landing and then the increased damage on the E. And right there, GBM went for the Miasma, as opposed to hitting another E onto Bjergsen. I think he could have killed Bjergsen before the pool if he had gone for that move, and that's what changes the end of this fight, because it could have been a 5-for-1. And then it ended up being a hectic fight, and look, another! Go
Replay's too long, Svenskeren now gonna get the Shen ulti. Big heals there as well, trying to move Hanser back over the wall. NRG continuing to play aggressive, trying to stop TSM from taking over too much, but they're already 10,000 gold ahead. I do love the fight, but TSM just showing that, at this stage of the game, you can play a little reckless. GBM hits another arrow. Svenskeren falls with the spear. Taunt's going to land in. Double lift. Doesn't get it. Svenskeren able to take another kill for himself.
And everybody just playing in sync on TSM. Sure, it's 9 to 8 in kills, but these kills...
Oku's having a bad time. Cosmic Radiance, here comes the dive. Biofrost. No, they're not going to bother. They're just going to push down mid instead. Red and Hip goes down. Quas trying to split push, but Hanser's going to join him in. TSM going to go for the throat here.
Oh, he was just baiting, and now Quas is actually going to TP in to help and try to save this. Not sure if he will be able to, though.
Makes it back down. Hanser pretty tanky. Quas dives into the backline. Double lift to target. With the stun, just hits Svenskeren. Spanging to chase out Quas. TSM looking to knock down a few more Nexus turrets. They're all open now. The Nexus is exposed. TSM might just move in for it here. Energy trying to keep them out of their base, but Bjergsen is so tanky. Finally forced to leave as Quas dives back in, but could be for his own demise. Pull back in.
GBM is back up now.
And Double F finally gets himself another kill. There's two. Kiwi Kid diving back in. Bjergsen is continuing to bait in. GBM exhausted. TSM gonna dive back in for it. Spirit's Refuge keeping them up. Anoku pinned against his fountain. TSM are gonna look to close out the game.
And Double F gets another kill on top of it. 993. The countdown still continues.
Solid looking game there from TSM. Really cool little comp. Svenskeren got insanely far ahead in the jungle. And then just a bunch of cool stuff. Constant aggression from Sven, Taric Shen ultimate combinations, some great long team fighting. Energy, they found some decent moments, but unfortunately it was too little too late. The draft back where we started. Rek'Sai Karma locked in for TSM. Now Energy looking for those next two picks.
Had a lot of time to think about it as well. See what they go for here. The hover on the Evelynn, don't think it's going to happen. He hovers it every time, and especially into Rek'Sai. But I would like to see the Taric come out here for Kiwi Kid.
I agree. I think it's a champion that would suit him. He likes to be, a bit tankier, a bit more aggressive, and certainly a champion that Bifrost looked good on. I think he maybe struggled in the Braum versus Taric matchup a bit. So, instead of taking the Braum, which is maybe his preference, just take the Taric instead.
Yeah, or this is where Kiwi Kid goes, you know what? Why isn't Annie a support right now? Let's bring her back,
Maybe you can make it happen. We'll have to see. Energy with 20 seconds left to decide on these picks. Can't imagine that completing bottom lane isn't a good option here. Seems relatively safe, but might just take kind of an open solo lane pick here as well if they want to hide some of their later picks down the track here. And there they are, Nara and Taric.
Okay, I feel like you can pick your jungler here and you can be fine unless they're picking something specific for Santorin.
Hope you're ready for this hover, Zyrene.
This Gnar, really blind though, and maybe I'm ready for the hover, but I feel like that Gnar, I'm gonna stop.
Oh, the Gnar seems great.
Because the Aurelia from Hanser can come out and just crush it.
Bjergsen is playing hard to get today. No Teemo anywhere. Look at that man. That is a man that will not be moved by your chance for Teemo. TSM looks like they're just kind of discussing what they do want to pick. I agree with you. Aurelia seems like a very strong counter pick, so kind of curious to see the Gnar pick that early.
And there are a few other things that you could play into it and have a pretty good time, but we'll see what ends up happening. I think that Hanser was one of the people who, when Aurelia was top tier, just picked her pretty much every time he could. The Taric coming out as well. This gives Energy a lot of engage potential with the Sivir, and also having the Gnar on top of it for the wall up.
Taking their time!
And he's gonna do it! Captain Bjergsen on duty!
Are you happy now, Internet? This is what happened.
This is what we've become, Pastry.
Well, that's Teemo and Ash locked in for Team SoloMid.
That's 9 weeks of resilience training out the window. They crack under pressure from the crowd. Weldon is going crazy. No, he probably encouraged it, but still.
I mean,
look at that smile.
Look, he's so evil. Energy, we'll see what they respond with here. I think in the back of their minds, they're like, I'm kind of expecting this. Wonder what GBM has in store. See how they finish their draft here. Looks like they'll need a jungler for Santorin. He already knows kind of what he's up against here. Although it does have to add Teemo into the mix. And of course, the GBM needs a champion for his curious-looking mid-lane matchup. They could, of course, swap it away.
Exactly.
It's not... The requirement wasn't that Bjergsen had to play it. It was that the team needed to pick it. They officially picked it.
Bjergsen tweeted back to that tweet and said, not me, please, because it wasn't specific. It could be Hanser.
Well, if that gets locked in, it's not. But we do have LeBlanc locked in for GBM, which I think is pretty good. And looks like Olaf there for Santorin into the Rek'Sai, which is something we've seen quite often as well.
Yeah, pick the Olaf, just rush down the backline, especially with an Ashe and a Teemo. Like, he's going to be all over these backline carries. So, great team to do it as well. When you pair a Sivir and a Taric with an Olaf, the Olaf runs in with a linear stun attached to him from Bastion. Just, it's fantastic. And
mix up.
What is going on?
Bifrost having fun, I think. Going through a couple different champions here. Again, we do have a solo lane to complete here for TSM. That's about all we know from the draft in its current state. But we'll see what they do want to have locked in here. Bifrost is having way too much fun. Cracks a huge smile out on stage.
I feel like Bjergsen's talking more right now. So it's a Bjergsen champion. Ah!
All right. There's Taliyah.
It was Hanser all along.
Maybe, but which champion does he get? Uh-oh. The mind games begin. Looks like it may be Hans's Teemo. Jokes in with Natalia. That's actually pretty smart in Hanar.
It's no longer Captain Bjergsen. He's been demoted. Replaced. It's Captain Hanser on duty
looks
today.
Over Bjergsen. I am the captain now. Takes the Teemo into the top lane. I think they honestly like tried to mind game NRG because like if you quote unquote have to play Teemo or you want to play Teemo, this is actually kind of a smart way to do it because this top lane matchup feels way better than that mid lane matchup was going to be.
That's true. I mean, as soon as you pick the LeBlanc, you're just like, oh, nope, not going to go into that lane. Let's pick the Teemo and put a top lane.
What a day it is. Flex pick Teemo for TSM's possible final game of the summer split in 2016.
I said it was a dark day earlier. It's an even darker day because when I'm celebrating a pick a champion select that's not the Talia, I'm a little sad. Talia is my girl.
She's pretty great. Well,
not today.
What a curious way to start this second game here. Please keep the hashtags rolling in. Maybe Ulta one, we could have Teemo SM win. I know that's been a popular chant here in the crowd, but
Satan win, Teemo win. Same thing.
666XX officially here. Jigglypuff wins Evo.
Still.
Now look what happened.
It's hashtag NRG win or hashtag TSM win.
And the crowd is hyped. They get what they wanted. They've been chanting Teemo before the stream started. If this is what you wanted, you've got it. NRG versus TSM and the cutest little bunny to ever enter Summoner's Rift.
My God. It's Cottontail too. Ah!
Alrighty then. And like I said, if this is something that we're trying to do, I think strategically, this is maybe one of the best ways to go about it.
I agree, especially since you're not playing into the LeBlanc. It's in the top lane, which is a longer lane, and I think it can survive in. And you have the brush, which is accessible to Teemo. Teemo can move around in stealth and brush now. So mid lane, you don't get to use that. Top lane, you could be a little bit sneakier.
We'll have to track the build as well here. Currently with the Doran's ring for Haunter, but...
Oh, this is probably full AP. He's probably no on-hit Teemo here. This is probably just full AP. Get some shrooms down on the Baron. Basically, it's the build that everybody hates.
Yeah. Well, he's playing Teemo, so...
Hey, remember when TSM picked up Hanser and he was saying, you know, one of the reasons that I'm picked up is I can play anything and I can adapt and I can pick up things really quickly. It's one of the things that like Dyrus always struggled with, picking up new champions quickly. Hanser was like, boom, right on top of that. In a day, he's got Teemo down.
I don't even think he had a day. But we'll see. We'll see how it looks as the teams do spread out. We have some deep lane swap vision placed as well, so kind of expecting a swap away here, which I think for NRG makes sense. Nas pretty good in most sticky situations. Teemo, no one knows. And they'll get the Sivir into a decent lane as well as NRG still grouped up here. Looking to make that swap happen. Looks like duo lanes are already on the other side of the map. TSM send their duo top lane, so we'll have a lane swap to start game number 2.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be...
battle Teemo.
It is, it is. Just get that on-hit damage. I mean, you blind the Gnar, and now it's the invade. So Svenskeren already used his smite. This could be crazy. Kiwi could get this, but we'll see.
Gonna have to pull it into the brush. Not by level 1 damage here. Haunter gonna do some deeps. Kiwi get forced out. Teemo gonna get stunned, but Haunter actually making sure the buff stays safe. Sven does get it safely.
Yep. Ends up defending, and he's gonna walk down to the bot side. He feels like he can't get Dove here. Oh my God, is he gonna stealth like by experience range?
Can he sneak in? He's a genius! And again,
all right.
Strategically,
let's
this
go.
Actually makes a lot of sense.
Wait, if that bottom lane backs, then it's not a lane swap anymore.
1v1 me, bro. The two most adorable champions.
This is great.
The unseen Teemo, question mark.
He's even gonna have more experience as well. No, seriously, because Quas had to split EXP.
Well, you said it. He can't play anything. There he is.
Oh, baby, this is great.
So actually, Australian lane CS, we do flip them upside down. Mini Gnar versus Teemo. Enjoy your top lane matchup. Dynamic Q everywhere. It's just weeping. There's Bifrost and Double If. Actually push the lane in. Looks like they are maybe looking to recall. Bifrost does go back early, does stay here, but Double If goes back early, gets himself a cull. Wants to make sure he gets that farm up, and kind of an interesting mid lane matchup as well. GBM, good damage on, but Bjergsen!
That's super good. As soon as you see the distortion coming out, you know he's going to be coming down this certain line, and so all you have to do is, boom, hit him with the Q. Get the threaded volley.
Passive pop for GBM as well. We've seen how much work Tillia can do at level 3, and It's a big power point now for Bjergsen. GBM though, level 4. Gonna have to be careful.
She's gotta be one of the strongest mid laners at level 3 in the game. Like, her power with just those 3 spells in her kit is absolutely insane. Santorin, not always a fan of those types of ganks. You clear out the wave to get your mid laners to pressure.
Vince here, GBM can't go back. Not safe. Oh, flush on Boros, Fitzgerald! He wants first blood, but he's not gonna get it. Red buff, barely not enough.
Yeah, those are the weirdest ganks as well, because you lose all pressure as a jungler. Like, even if Svenskaren's not there, well, what's going to happen? Svenskaren's going to go to a lane and know that it's not something that he can have a numbers disadvantage on. And this is perfect because all Santorin wanted to do was push the wave so GBM can back and have a good back timing. Nah, not going to happen. Going to lose cannon minion to the turret, going to lose experience, and now Bjergsen just even further ahead.
Yep, he's going to push it in. Probably has enough to shove down this wave. Talia is real good.
Yeah,
she's smashing down a minion wave.
I think she's one of the only champions in the game that can clear the caster minions at level 1. And he's adorable.
Quas, looking for first blood. Sven knocks him out. Damage.
Poison.
No. Quas barely lives on. No. It's a disaster. The Teemo has fallen. Look at that. The disappointment is palpable.
The thing is, if Teemo gets a kill, you celebrate, and if he dies, you still celebrate. It's a win-win.
Cannot lose. Double if he's just stun here in top lane. Good shield from Bifrost. Going to turn around the trade. Kiwi Kid taking some damage there. Volley to the face. Double lift. Still looking, of course. Damage is good. They're going to chase in. Burns the heal aggressively.
What? He's got Ghost.
The heal from NRG, and he ghosts down in. Oh, that's still going. Good double stun, and now the teleport in from NRG as well. Kiwi Kid going to go down as Bifrost gets it. But OQ now under threat. Double is going to still go forward, but Quas going to turn it around. Double is going to die here. OQ gets it on the other end. And Bifrost going to get chased down. He shields himself up, runs towards the turret, but Quas hops over his head. Great flash from Bifrost to get himself safely, but it's not enough. Quas gets another. Turret shot is enough for the trade.
Biofrost, 2-1. When's he getting 1,000 kills? Because it's coming around already. Oh, steals him off from Double Lift. Double Lift not able to pick any up. And this, let's just enjoy this for a second, because Poncer attacks, pulls aggro first, takes 2 tower shots, 3, and flashes away, comes back into range.
Oh, he's poisoned.
And boop, because of the poison. So let's talk about the poison. He's gonna kill him. Oh! So I said he had a day. Yeah, you're right. Probably 12 hours. Let's go. He probably lost rock, paper, scissors backstage to Bjergsen before this match.
Maybe. His Sven's actually also in a spot of bother. Going to try and get out, but Talia going to answer back. Bjergsen rotating well, but GBM's here. Stun lands in. GBM getting zoned out by the E there of Bjergsen.
Oh, Sven
still trying to tunnel out, but he gets a 3-man knockup. Not enough, though, as the kill should come in here. Who's going to get it? It will be Quas. Off to a 3-1-1 start here.
And GBM, if he had more mana, he may be able to finish off Bjergsen, but still at a disadvantage, and it's a barrier as well to deal with the assassination potential.
Gonna have to play it carefully, but GBM doesn't really have any mana left.
Random aside, probably a Trinity Force Teemo. I'm a little sad. Yep. Anyway, Kiwi Kid caught.
It was like a fade. Cut off there. Great wall from Bjergsen. Gonna try and follow him for the kill. I think they want to give it to Double Lift if they can. Double Lift! He does get another.
994.
Well, Haunted now doing some counter jungling. Actually looking to steal away the red buff here. Throws the shroom at it. Should be able to get this for himself. Red buff Teemo is pretty annoying. As Bjergsen going to get dove on again. Burns the barrier.
A little late, too, so he ended up taking that chunk of damage, but he was expecting the Ignite to come through.
Has the blue buff as well. Quas also caught up here. Level 6. Looks to scoop in. Gets 2. While it follows in after the boulder toss. And Santorin gonna try and make this work. Quas now chasing back in mini form, and Bifrost looks to be the target. Santorin pops the ulti, and Bio just can't really go anywhere, but Quas still taking damage, almost gets snared up. Santorin does get the kill back, and Double Lift just doesn't have enough here, I don't think. Tagged up again, grabs triggers, Quas safe, hops away. And now Double Lift dodges the Q, now gonna keep moving on.
When's he 6? He's 6 now.
Though. Does have the ulti, but doesn't want to turn it around. Bjergsen here as well. GBM dives in! That threaded ball, he tags him on the end of the distortion.
Wait. Oh! Single-digit HP for Bjergsen. Perfect threaded volley. Hits GBM with the first few, and then keeps it aimed at where the distortion origin was. Absolutely brilliant.
Double lift! There's another kill! 5 left. Picks up his second kill of this game. Svenskeren also going to take this down. Looks to try and counter jungle away the Grom. Oku struggling a bit here as Sven takes away the Krug. It's been a weird lane swap to see them swap back. The turrets are still standing, but these top laners are eating 1v2 matchups.
It's been a weird game in general.
And Haunter is thriving.
He took the red buff too. He just walked into their jungle and took it because he saw Santorin on the top side. This is so good though. This is GBM like trying to outplay, flashes over, and then boop boop, kept it aimed at where the distortion originally was.
Smart stuff there.
Super good.
Have to be careful certainly against the LeBlanc, but that Negatron cloak helping out as well. Bifrost also going to spot Santorin.
It was also a little awkward too because I feel like GBM, he W'd and then he flashed and then he ignited. If he had just flashed W'd, would have gotten the distortion damage on Bjergsen, but he wanted his distortion escape to be further back, and Bjergsen used it against him. And good God!
Look at that hashtag. 88% of you.
Surprised it's not 666.
We know.
Keep voting. Maybe we'll get there. That's how it works, right?
That's the total number of votes. As GBM takes away the blue buff for himself. Might help out in the mid lane because Bjergsen's off to a nice, healthy CS lead of 20 with Tilia versus LeBlanc. Teemo also up as well.
Like, all of these lanes are just actually insane. Like, we have Teemo versus Gnar, and then the bottom lane, like, Doublelift has Flash Ghost, and then he's like, Biofrost, you take heal.
Uh-oh, here we go. Quas almost mega now. Haunter's going to try and cut it out, but he gets not into the wall. Walt as well. Santorin going to upset the balance, and Haunter's got his flash, but he's going to stand and fight. No chance there as Quas takes him out. The crowd is so disappointed. Good start onto Doublelift as we have actually swapped back to our 1v1 and 2v2 lanes.
Yeah, I mean, Quas is getting fed too. 4, 2, and 2. Like, this Gnar could take over. And, I mean, Gnar actually kind of builds rather similarly to how on-hit Teemo did, where you're just like, oh, I'm going to go Frozen Mallet and be incredibly annoying and maybe get a Runeans or something. I don't know what he's building right now. I don't even know if Haunter knows.
It's a shroom!
The egg!
Something to TP onto.
What?
He canceled it? Oh.
Because Quas tried to TP as well, and then Quas canceled his.
Not too bad, but still a dive coming.
Fair enough.
Trying to get Doublelift a few more kills. Bjergsen here doesn't need to cut them off. Gets exhausted, but Santorin's here as well. Oku eating damage, but Doublelift forced to flash out. Svenskeren tanks a tower shot, but he will be safe for now. Bjergsen eats one as well, but NRG with a great defense in the bottom lane.
Santorin still chasing down a little bit here because GBM wanted some, but no. Ends up not getting it.
Oh, that's deep.
Wait.
GBM, oh, takes out Sven!
Great assassination there from GBM. Found the angle on it. Had the vision, too. It begins.
Well, that tower's going down, so Quas, the kill lead that he has built up there, despite the CS discrepancy, looking really nice here in the 1v1. Haunter gonna have to wait and kind of get some items built up. Quas already looking pretty aggressive with some of the early purchases. Haunter just gonna clear out what he can, but Mini Gnar right now has the edge.
That's true. Yeah, and especially with that pickaxe, and I want to know what Haunter's going for here, because that's not Trinity Force, that's not Runettes Hurricane. I want to know. I want to know.
We're gonna find out later, I think.
I don't know if we'll ever find out.
Maybe. That's
He's
also
gonna buy
true.
components the entire time.
As Bjergsen face checks an axe, forced to flash out of the way, does have the barrier, but Santorin gonna chase, lands another axe. Bjergsen probably not enough, doesn't burn the summoner. Santorin collects him.
Yep, good restraint to not blow the summoner as well, because GBM would have been able to just ignite afterwards or follow up. But this turret mid, TSM losing pressure.
Staying gonna try and cover Bifrost here as well. But NRG doing a nice job playing a bit more aggressive. They're actually in the lead right now in gold. About 1,000 gold ahead with Quas taking that top lane tower, kind of pushing them ahead there. And look at them playing up, much like TSM were in game one. Santorin trying to be aggressive, TSM answering well, trying to protecting their jungle, but lane pressure's starting to build up, and another turret's going to go over to NRG here.
Or it will soon. They're pulling Svenskeren down to the bottom side of the map. Haunter, though.
Hello. Oh, Quas and Haunter fighting it out. Blind Noni now is kind of annoying. Shroom is good. Slows down Quas, but doesn't quite have the damage just yet. You see Haunter playing with a little care there, wanting to make sure he's okay. Doesn't want to face check Quas right now because that Frozen Mallet's already finished. Long lane for Teemo to be chased down, so gonna have to be careful. Doublelift looking pretty happy here in the bottom lane, both actually with their Cull and SS Fever components, so pretty similar spot for OQ and Doublelift, who've got reasonable CS numbers, although OQ up right now by about 20. And NRG in general just correcting a lot of the early game, playing a bit more aggressive, able to kind of control their lanes. and even get the turret lead in top lane, likely in bottom lane soon as well. This is exactly how they wanted the game to start, kind of extending the early lane they got.
Yeah, there have been some mistakes that have been heavily punished here. And
Oh, flash from GBM, goes straight in aggressive. Svenskeren not there to turn it around, and Santorin gets the kill. Arrow tanked as well through the Ragnarok there, and GBM maybe back in again, but Svenskeren pretty tanky.
Yeah, Svenskeren already on his way to multiple health items. So GBM, maybe it's the roam. And try to make Double Lift's day not so good.
Ocean Drake up as well, so NRG can certainly look to take an objective if they want. They've still got pressure bottom side as well, so TSM do have to pull away here. Nice little sweeper from Santorin. Going to spot both the wards there. Going to clear out that pink ward after taking the trinket ward away. And NRG are going to get that turret finally, get themselves up a bit more gold.
Finally get this turret. They're up 2 now. And that mid turret also, they've been finding ways in there over and over again. Bjergsen without a flash. Bjergsen hasn't had the same type of roaming potential that he likes to have on Taliyah. Normally you shove in mid wave and then you go to the bottom side or you go to the top side and you use your Reaver's Wall. But not today, and whoa!
Yeah, Bifrost locked up on burst down, but Bjergsen sees Sven there as well, but Santorin going to take him out. Cosmic Radiance popped. NRG can buy a bit more time. See our wall actually going to cut them off. Quas sort of caught, but he's in Mega Knife on. Now dives in, looks for the scoop, finds the two-man, gets Bjergsen, and double lift with the wall up. Huge follow-up damages. Bjergsen's going to fall. Bastion stun, they're going to get another, and NRG wipe the floor with TSM in that fight.
And the only survivors, Teemo, in that top lane. He's trying to help, but still, 4 kills going over to NRG. And now they have a great, solid control of this game. And if they get this mid turret, they open up the LeBlanc roams and they shut down a lot of the Taliyah roams that she wants to pull off to tier 2 turrets and whatnot of the enemy team.
And again, NRG just playing kind of the weird 10 minutes of this game very nicely. Managed to get an advantage in every single lane. Now 3 turrets to 0 and a huge gold lead all of a sudden. 5,000 gold up for NRG as the arrow sails down bottom lane, but finds no target. Quas going to walk away from that one.
Yeah, good awareness there to watch the lane. And this is great dazzle as well. Kiwi Kid gets him with the edge of the stun. And then GBM from the side. And Santorin actually just gets in that Cosmic Radiance just barely. So really well played there. The movement speed from OQ, able to give them a little bit more oomph. And then whoop, jumps off Svenskeren, scoops him into the wall, lines up the wall up as well, and hits both of the carries. Like, that is just a Nard dream.
Exceptional play there from Quas and Kiwi Kid. Nice little team up there. Have a good-looking team fight win. TSM going to have to hold on for probably 5 to 10 minutes here and just recoup some farm. But GBM, you can see, sweeping out the side brush, trying to threaten some of these side lanes as well. SM Street Zeal finish for OQ as well. And Double Lift still looking for that first major item. Going to be struggle streak for a little while longer. Even poor Teemo. 0-2-0 to start things off. But Hornster, Quas able to pressure that lane almost indefinitely at this point.
Yeah, it's that on-hit Teemo as well. I'm a little sad. I thought it was going to be... thought it was going to be AP. It's the worst of the two to, like, walk through the jungle and just feel awful about, but sure. I'm sure, like, Frozen Mallet, okay. It's a Teemo, let's go.
It's funny, because, like, Minino in a lot of ways is described as Teemo in the top lane.
That's
actually
true.
do fairly similar things, so...
That's one of the reasons that we haven't actually seen a lot of Teemo is just because the whole idea was having this ranged top laner, but now it's a ranged top laner that's a team fighter, and that's why Gnar, like, really pushed him out if he was ever in the meta in the first place.
TSM looking to defend this top tier 2. Oki's actually already doing some chip damage out of the turret. Double Lift and Bifrost there in time to try and clear that out, but GBM's threatening in. Here's the huge issue for TSM, I think, because Morellonomicon finished, Sork Shoe's done, and an extra blasting one means that whenever he leaves his lane, TSM constantly have to play back and try and be safe. And if anyone's out of position or gets caught through the jungle, pretty easy to pick up kills with Sivir, Taric, LeBlanc.
Yeah, and especially with the Cosmic Radiance, and...
Time to dive, apparently. TSM back off to the inhibitor turret. Haunter now joining in, but that tier 2 looks pretty dead. NRG should be able to collect it here, and they will. Good little pop back from Taliyah. Quasto goes in, gets Bifrost and takes him out. Sven flashes over a bit. Haunter, he's going to get blown up there by GBM. Double Lift trying to answer back and get a few kills for himself. Quas about to run out of Mega, gets popped up again. Dazzle not lands in, but a huge Bastion. He's going to get the other 2. Taliyah, though, able to shot one down as GBM falls. TSM answer back for 1.
Oh, and Double Lift almost has his arrow back up. He's a few seconds off for about 10. And yeah, it's going to be 3 for 1 there in favor of NRG, and they're just running away with this game. 6,000 gold lead, and they've been playing much better in the early game here. And this is really greedy, actually, because it's only a 2-man Cosmic Radiance. But pops the Ghost, pops the Sivir ultimate. Not able to get in a good dazzle range, but it's just the zoning off. But they use so many ultimates to do that. Summoner spells, pops Kiwi back, but he was already charging the stun, and that's what saves them there. Kiwi Kid gets out for a bit, and then Monster ends up going down first. He's got a target on his back. Doublelift wants to pick up all these kills, wants to get closer to that 1,000, but not enough, and Bjergsen misses hitting GBM at first, but does get him and almost kills OQ, but unfortunately, 1 kill for TSM there, whereas 3 for NRG, and NRG definitely came out on top, so despite all those efforts and those abilities that they were missing, TSM, nope.
Got the turret out of the deal also, so 4 turrets to 0 now for NRG as Kiwi Kid. Some really nice bending on the dazzle. Pick up a 2-man stun towards the back end of that
great
fight.
prediction, yeah.
Infernal Drake also up in a minute. NRG already with an Ocean, so can add that to their tally also. And TSM really just going to have to play awfully safe for the next little while. 7,000 gold down pretty much as the Rift Tower does return to the Void. Didn't get picked up by Quas, would have loved it to kind of continue that 1v1, but he's building tanking now. I think NRG know that the way we win this game is by forcing team fights and trying to close it out early, and so far so good. They've got the pressure lead, built up a huge gold lead for themselves, and TSM just going to have to turtle up for a little while. Every time he hides.
Every time.
We hope something great happens.
They're holding some pink boards, though. So they're pinging him out. This is going to be great. Because Santor's going to walk up, probably pink it. And, oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Ah!
Oh, I believe they're going in. They're really putting him dead. Cosmic Radiance down. Dazzlin actually gets dodged up by Haunter, but the Ragnarok's going to cause too many problems. Santorin takes out Teemo 7-0-5 for this Olaf. Unfortunately, Santorin's getting booed. TSM, though.
Yeah, this is a great move from TSM. This is them trying to win the game.
The global taunt?
We'll say towards the jungler, and he had the global taunt on him. And
they found Quas, but Bjergsen going to try and cut somebody off. He hops back, but Quas actually can still get his way in there. They have to get him out of the pit. GBM going to dive in as well. Assassinates Doublelift as Quas and GBM team up for that, and I don't think they can finish it.
Here comes Santorin. They have to get it right before Santorin gets in there.
Oh, GBM steals it. And now TSM have to run a desperate Baron play, but well answered by NRG.
And NRG are going to get the bottom turret as well. So they're already on that inhibitor. They picked up the Baron. Everything is going NRG's way this game.
And this game could end in a matter of minutes. NRG just so well played, turning that aggression all the way back up to 11. And TSM just struggling to get anything done here in this game. Ulti proc by Sivir. Kiwi Kid's going to run out of the way. Slowed by Bifrost on the Q, but not nearly enough.
Yeah, not even close to enough there. And Kiwi Kid just gets out. Walks right away. And this summoner spell, like Biofrost, no exhaust, no ignite. It's like the offensive summoners don't even exist on TSM. So they're playing all these fights really defensively.
There's the Infernal Drake as well. NRG just continuing to stack advantages, almost up to 10,000 gold ahead. Svenskeren going to find Quas, but Quas not too bothered. Svenskeren doing some damage here. Yep. Teleport in.
Ah, he's arrived!
It's Haunter, he's going to try and pick up a kill finally. Biofrost in as well. Quas, no summoners to speak of. Pass back in the mini, but Haunter, can he get it? He should be able to get the shutdown. And he does.
Teemo is on the board.
This is how it starts. TSM still very far behind. But a shutdown gold is nice for Haunter.
But the morale.
Oh, yeah. Look at the momentum swing. Teemo's still 3,000 gold behind Quas.
Yeah, Quas has been a monster this game. His team fighting has been on point, and his laning phase was really good as well. And I also think that Santorin has just been incredibly proactive. I talked about how they were, like, jungling is a team effort and how they were losing their jungle before. Well, when you have losing lanes, you're going to lose your jungle very quickly. And that's what happened.
GBM. Oh, my God, double lift. Almost gets himself 3-shot. Just one more proc away, and Santorin going to pop the ulti back on again. Bifrost can't do anything. GBM going to take him out. Sven going to get locked up, and Santorin still running. Svenskeren does manage to flash out of the way. Knocks up Santorin on the other end as Doublelift going to try and turn around, but Quas finds his way in. Badges gets popped. Doublelift flashes out the backside as Svenskeren turns his way to safety. Bjergsen cuts them off.
GBM still wants him.
Doublelift still dead. GBM gets another assassination.
And Doublelift not going to get any kills in this game. No more. You know, having a LeBlanc that's fed against you is just, you can't do anything as an AD carry. It's really awful. It's like, I don't have enough damage to kill Gnar. I don't have enough damage to kill LeBlanc before she kills me. I don't have enough HP to sustain that. So ends up dropping down. All of TSM on the retreat, and NRG just take that second inhibitor turret.
GBM is doing so much damage. Went for a death cap second as well. So hyper-aggressive build here. GBM showing up massive there on the pick as NRG take out the mid inhibitor. They are well and truly 10,000 gold ahead, and TSM have a whole host of problems in that bottom third of their base.
Yeah, I didn't like their pick ban too much. They may have lost in champion select a bit, but we'll see. TSM, doing what they can with what they've drafted for themselves. The Taliyah didn't get off the ground. That's the big thing for me is Bjergsen didn't have the same type of influence in this game. When we see him play Taliyah, he's usually shoving the wave up, going to the side. Can't do that against LeBlanc when he is pushing you back and trying to kill you constantly. We saw early kills as well in early jungle visits, but I think the NRG played it right by having Santorin visit that lane a lot.
Yeah, just again a strong early game, but this time with the proper conversions from NRG, I think has been the big story here. Every lane just started getting ahead. So a lot of credit to Santorin for getting that started. He's still immortal on this Olaf with no deaths at all. The GA is probably going to mean he won't tie this game. The amount of influence he's had on the game has been pretty spectacular, and the rest of his team stepped up behind him.
Oh yeah, and the fact that there isn't really enough damage on TSM yet to actually kill him once, let alone twice, and then just all that damage threat. Like, that GA, while it's being popped, GBM's going to pop somebody else.
Yep, GBM is a big problem for the squishy champions that TSM currently have in the pool. NRG take another turret, now 8 turrets to 1. TSM almost getting shut out of this game.
Yep, there it is, the Runaan's beyond hit build, slow everybody.
Do better, wave clear. We got a lot of issues. GBM's like, nope! Oh, chain not quite there.
Oh, got Kiwi Kid.
Pops the ulti down, Cosmic Radiance not gonna proc. Olaf just goes straight in for double lift, and he's so dead. TSM forced the retreat back to their fountain. NRG gonna take yet another inhibitor turret. And this is not defensible at this point. TSM, I don't think they can fight for this inhibitor.
Oh man, NRG. If they end up winning this game, and then if they go to game 3 and win that one, they'll get that higher seed and knock down Phoenix 1. They're looking for that spot.
Certainly are. Santorin locked up a bit, but they're going for the kill here, actually. One Nexus turret down. NRG might retreat back, but they don't really have anything to do. Taliyah knocks them all back in. Bjergsen with a big play to try and defend his base. He's keeping them out as best he can, but NRG is just too far ahead. Room pops in again, TSM doing what they can, but Bjergsen gets dazzled, exhausted now as well. Arrow sails in and nails Quas. But Kiwi Kid too tanky to die. GBM just slays Teemo with the burst, and double lift goes down yet again after coming off a respawn. And we're gonna have a game 3. NRG gonna smash TSM in game 2.
NRG breaking TSM down early on. Kiwi Kid bamboozled by that game.
Oh, looking pretty happy with themselves, but they do have to do it again. And TSM, Teemo pick aside, that game cannot be
quite frequent.
We'll see what happens here in the last game of the regular season. For both these teams, actually, Double Lift still chasing those 1,000 kills, and NRG chasing the 8th potential spot in promos as well. Bans are almost through, though. Twitch, Alawi, and Malzahar for the 3rd time here for TSM, and Shen Siva with 1 more to come. It is the Vladimir there from NRG.
Yep. So first pick, Rek'Sai Karma, still available. Let's see what else is on the table for them. Hanser, he just got back from playing Teemo. He's seen some things.
He's like, guys.
I think I know these guys.
Yeah, I learned some stuff in that game,
He's like hooked into the Matrix.
Maybe not enough. We'll have to see.
I know Kung Fu. Now we know Skarner, too.
Maybe. Again, Honso said, can't play any champion. We'll see what they want to take here for their first pick, though. Karma notably open as far as champions that were banned pretty frequently. Bifrost champion pool is actually open right back up because he's been surprisingly heavily targeted in the first 2 games. But Rek'Sai is the safe, standard, and probably best pick from the jungle, so TSM Surprise is going to take it.
And now for OQ. It's possible you could pick up a Karma Jhin here, Karma Ashe, maybe go for utility, but OQ likes those carries. And they may go with a safe jungler and try to see more of the bottom lane before they do it, but I still think you take Karma here very early on in the draft. And Tarek worked out too, so
I feel like the Olaf pick maybe also could get some work done here at Santorin. Having some fun there with TSM. I think whatever's left open will be pretty strong here for NRG, but nothing like jumps out at you as far as strong picks or bans, so NRG probably just going to fall back to some safe stuff here for the first few, and you said it. Karma Ash seems very straightforward.
Sure. That's the thing, K-Street. I say like 6 things, and eventually I'm right. No,
That's how it works.
Karma, Ash were the ones that I suspected just because Karma top tier, Ash with Sivir banned away becomes top tier. Jin was the other one that I was thinking, just because I know OQ likes the armor penetration Jin, but taking the Ash away from Doublelift, who's been landing some great arrows in this series and played at both games, try to get him off that champion.
Well, looks like Lucian might be making a reappearance here for Doublelift. Remember, still chasing 1,000 career kills for the regular season. He likes to go pretty aggressive on the old Lucian. Haven't seen it in a little while, but maybe it's time to bring it out for the final game of the summer.
That's true. His love, the Lucian that he's been playing for like the entire split, dropped it for the utility carries near the end, and I think everybody might be tired in here because Timo got hovered and everybody's like, we've seen this.
Yeah.
So it takes one game. It's like Talia, one game, okay.
Well, they don't want to get baited because they've been disappointed before.
They kept their expectations low.
There's Cassio Bard instead for TSM. Bifrost finally going to get his hands on the Bard as well. Yeah,
the Bard has been banned away from him the entire series. And so now he can set up a lot of kills for Doublelift, set up his team. And no Zilean to pair with it. That was actually a crazy combo that they've been playing with the Bard Zilean where they double bomb on top of the Tempered Fate.
Feels like Bjergsen kind of respecting the power of Cassiopeia maybe as well. Just saying, you know what, GBM? I want to take this away from you. It's been a really powerful champion in the hands of many players. Seems like her stock is rising as far as priority goes, and Bjergsen showing some of that here by taking it relatively early in the draft. NRG, though, will have a chance to counterpick that mid lane, so plenty of picks open for them as well. We'll see how they want to navigate this. GBM might just go back to something a bit more comfortable for him. And Tarek also being left open. They are going to save mid lane for last, it looks like. I think both these picks worked out well. Santorin's Olaf looks great. It's good into Rek'Sai. It's probably good into whatever AD carry Doublelift wants to play, and it's pretty good into Cassio. So
yeah,
they'll take the Olaf Tarek once again.
Yeah, rush down. I think this is exactly the composition that NRG want. I think all of these are really S tier in the jungle for competitive play, especially in North America. We've been favoring these champions. And, oh boy, he might do it. You were actually talking about it between games. Doublelift, no, he's 5 kills away. There's 5 enemy members on the team to kill. Does he get no kills until he just pulls out the Vayne Penta?
Maybe. Does he pull out the Vayne? Been a long time love of Doublelift, but he go for Caitlyn instead. Nars the last pick there for Hornstar. And looks like they have left again. GBM. Actually, no, they picked Tarek, so it's Karma mid lane. Quas actually going to get the counter pick here. So maybe he plays. See what his counter pick into the Gnar is. It's probably not Timo.
It's true. Very true. It could be. Might go for the Jax here.
Yeah, he's got Ghost hovered already.
Shen is banned away. I actually do like the Caitlyn here jumping back over to TSM, mostly because you outrange the Ashe just slightly, and you can take advantage of the stun from Bard by placing down another trap. And even on top of it, just getting away from an Olaf, well, you could be a bit further back to start the fight off. So don't worry too much about the rush down.
Well, not too long left for NRG to lock in this final pick. What do they want to take in? Remember, it's a crucial game for them in particular. TSM, they do want to finish strong, what they've locked in first. Ooh, Kara gets excited, but he goes back to Jax. No Nasus this time. Plus, going to take Jax into NRG's final game versus TSM.
Final game of the split for both of these teams. They want to end on a high note. TSM, they can close it out 2-1 and end up having that 17-1 record and the highest win percentage that the TSM organization has ever ended a regular season split with. And NRG, if they win, they bump Phoenix 1 down to 9th place, and they have to play Cloud9 Challenger. And NRG take 8th for themselves with a higher game win percentage. And have a much easier time in the promotion tournament.
And that's important. We even heard it from Santorin as well. It's not just about putting ourselves in the best position. It's about demonstrating to the challenger teams that, hey, like, we're a team to be reckoned with. A loss here, you know, maybe expected from TSM, but you still want to show that we are a strong team. You want to, you know, put maybe a bit of fear into the other teams going into promotion tournament. TSM, though, they just want to finish strong. They already dropped 1 match. Didn't really like it, I take it. 17-1, pretty good looking record. It's not 18-0, but they'll probably take it.
Yeah, definitely not setting a new record. But for the organization, it's definitely been the best TSM split that they have ever had as an organization.
And they've looked good so far. Can they look good one more time moving into playoffs as that first year? I guess we're going to find out, but don't forget to keep them hashtags rolling in. Hashtag TSM win or hashtag NRG win. Unfortunately, we have retired the Timo win hashtag. We'll have to bring it out another day.
Yeah.
Short-lived.
Yeah. I'll talk to Balance. Maybe they'll buff them. You'll see.
Well, fans got what they wanted here. I guess a little more League of Legends is never bad.
Obviously, they've been appeased.
I mean, yeah.
TSM asked, are you not entertained? And they definitely were.
Well, we're going to have one final game of entertainment as TSM and NRG take to the Rift for one final time here in the 2016 summer.
5 more kills.
And the crowd is right. Unlike me, they can in fact do maths.
Yeah, and we were actually looking at it. Doublelift would be the first player in the world to do so because it's regular season career kills. Faker and Prey have actually both passed it, and that's because of the fact that they've counted playoffs in those. So in just regular season play, that will be the first person to do it in his career.
And important to note that if he doesn't get it here, Doublelift has to wait a long time. He might be holding on really eagerly in January of next year to pick up one more kill. So TSM going to get one more opportunity here. We'll see what happens, but looks like a lane swap is in order as OQ going to move his Ashe towards that top half of the map. Doublelift already down towards the bottom with Biofrost in that tri-bush in the bottom lane. So it looks like we are going to have a lane swap to start things off again. Spen and Haunter having a dance off here in the jungle. Looks like Spen's going to start Grom.
Start on that top side, do a non-lane swap start for yourself, but at the same time, it looks like it's a lane swap here from OQ and Kiwi Kid. Now, it's a little bit different as well because they don't have lane swap wards, so it's blind. So you start on your camp before you invade. So they'll kill the camp. Yeah, they'll kill the camp, and they'll get the experience, but they'll be late on the invade to interrupt the blue. And that's why you can see NRG are starting their blue first, so they guarantee that they get the buff.
In fact, both junglers are starting on their unsafe sides here.
And they've already seen Gnar, and that's still going to be Quas running to the lane. It's a little bit awkward.
Yeah, it does get down, but don't think he's going to get any CS. Haunter does sneak a few away. Gets 3 for himself, which is about the amount you expect to get. OQ and Kiwi, they're going to start zoning, and Quas going to get zoned off the wave here.
They do this all the time. NRG have Quas actually try to hold the lane swap, and as a Jax, he has the Counter-Strike leveled up, so it's a little bit harder to dive him. If he does hit level 2 as well from the crashing minions before they dive him, then it's much easier to do so. But if he gets that too, he can counter. He's trying to hold and pick up the CS.
Yeah, they're threatening a dive here. In fact, they will pull it off.
He hit 2, so he has Leap Strike and Counter Strike.
He leaps away, but Doublelift's starting to shoot him. Exhaust is down, stun is going to connect, but Santorin's here to defend. And Doublelift kind of caught out of position here.
Yeah, and this is the gamble that you take. Now he has to wait for that Counter-Strike cooldown. Doublelift in a bad spot. Santorin
Tanking minions.
hits him with an axe.
Gets to get out. Oh, he cues back in, but Svenskeren, it was all a ruse. Quas gonna take damage as Doublelift burns the heal. Counter-Strike in. Doublelift really needs some kills here. Flash Stone gonna slow Doublelift in. Can he get it? He does. There's first blood.
4 more kills, and then Doublelift hits 1,000. And Quas, he tried to hold it. He would have actually had a really good situation if they had held it, because NRG are pushing the top side. Eventually, he's going to get that top turret, OQ and Kiwi Kid would, and then it wouldn't have been answered. Now, Bard gets to have Magical Journey, go through, and this was just still well played from Quas. Jumps the other side so he avoids the Gnar, and now Hanzo can't really do anything. The stun comes through, but you can't follow up with auto attack damage at that point with the Counter-Strike on. And Santorin helps him hold. And you can see on the top side, Ashe and Taric 100% free to hit that turret, shove those waves slowly, get it eventually, but then overextends. The jungle routing puts Svenskeren on that side, and GBM has Ignite.
Yeah, Bjergsen a little low, cleansed off there from Bjergsen.
Yeah, this is actually really good.
Nice little play there, but GBM continuing to take aggressive summoner spells.
Yeah, he takes the Ignite, and Bjergsen takes the Cleanse as a Cassiopeia, mostly for the fact that it's a Taric and it's an Ashe. Like, this bottom lane is going to try to CC you. It's hard to dodge it, and he brings it for that reason. And it just happens to also remove summoner spells from the enemy, or that they use on you. So Exhaust and Ignite both get completely removed.
Well, good stuff there, but Bjergsen going to be charging up that tier, probably expecting to still take a bit of harass there in the lane, but keeping up well on CS. Kiwi Kid and Santorin, though, up here in that top lane. Magical Journey out. Doublelift and Biofrost saying peace. Get themselves out of the lane, and we've actually swapped back to a standard 2v2 here. Doublelift with a pickaxe advantage just versus that Cold for OQ. First Blood money helping out, despite the fact that OQ is up in CS a bit.
Yeah, he's up in CS. He's also up in experience as well, because he was in a lane with the Taric for so long, only splitting experience between 2 people as opposed to 3 and 4.
Bjergsen dodging the axe from Santorin, though. Svenskeren just making sure everything's chilled in the mid lane. Might threaten GBM here, but 2v2 that I'm not sure they want to win here. GBM going to snare up Bjergsen. Sven now going to show himself, but Santorin might just keep going. GBM taking a bit of damage, and now Bjergsen going to turn it back around. Santorin getting low. Lost poison land. Needs it on a tweet. Bang! Not
Poison!
Woo! Well played by both sides there. 2v2 yields no further result.
I think he had 1 HP. Literally 1 HP.
Well, Bjergsen going to keep threatening here. GBM can't really walk back through miasma. Bjergsen with an early blue buff, I believe, as well. Yeah, he does have it from Rek'Sai, so able to be nice and aggressive. Santorin, a little lucky to be alive, but...
Yeah, that means he started his potions at the right second to stay alive.
Biofrost getting stunned up there. Double F trying to trade harass back. OQ got a lot of armor there from that Taric, so Kiwi Kid able to battle back pretty effectively. Svenskeren also kind of keeping track of things here. Looks like ward's down on that blue side of NRG's jungle, so expect an invade there for TSM. Santorin still constantly checking back in on this mid lane though. So it seems like Bjergsen is the focus. Gonna try and see if they can't kill the Cassiopeia, especially pre-6.
Yep, once again, Santorin gets the flash, so that's really good. He'll have his Ghost and he'll have Ragnarok the next time he comes around. Despite Bjergsen being 6, it's not gonna matter too much. The damage output will matter, but the CC will be completely negated by the Olaf.
Good little burst of speed there from GBM on the E, so able to get himself out from under Bjergsen's follow-up harass with the Twin Fangs. Svenskeren and escape by Santorin and just dodging out of the way of that axe. Kiwi Kid roams down, trying to threaten Svenskeren and kind of in the middle of this topside river, but Sven just going to bail out. And once again, Santorin playing up and aggressive in TSM's jungle, but this time NRG's coming to help.
Yeah, I actually think it's a really good kind of practice to play against TSM's jungle because it's the team effort, and so you have to, as a jungler, over-communicate. It's kind of strange to say, like, over-communicate and say, like, okay, this is where everybody is. Can you help me? Help me now. This is what I need. And a lot of junglers are always, like, just taking in information and saying, like, oh, I can come in, like, 45 seconds and get there to the bottom lane. Now, he has to say, all right, this is what I need from you.
And it's been very effective for NRG. We saw the Olaf really just dictate a lot of that game in the second one. Svenskeren though, trying to make sure he keeps up. Looks like he'll steal away this blue buff here. Won't be in time to donate it over to Bjergsen, but a very easy steal from that well-placed pink board. Svenskeren going to skate over NRG's pink there though, unfortunately.
That's just a route.
Little blind in the tunnels.
A big thing about Rek'Sai is you want to have like a tunnel system throughout your own jungle to just optimize clearing, but he has one in the river to optimize clearing and getting back to where he was.
Nice little network set up there as bit of a trade in top lane, goes mostly TSM's way. Bifrost doing a nice job kind of keeping them locked down with the stuns, and Caitlyn can always throw in that free harass.
This is awesome. Those Caitlyn traps. Chilling out there.
Ooh.
That allows them to gank bot because they see Santorin top.
Toss now caught. Hyper gonna proc. Cornsa might look for the dive, but he's only mini. Still tired. Now flashes forward. He wants it. Gets the slow from the boomerang. Svenskeren follows in. Looks for the Amari, but doesn't get it.
Just barely misses out on the knock-up there.
Oh, arrow to the face. Santorin's here. Santorin gonna pop the ulti again. Double lift. He's seen it all before. The exhaust is down, but he's still alive for now. Not for much longer though. Santorin takes him down.
Yep, the Ghost rushes straight through. Here comes the TP from Jax. They're gonna try to re-dive this and go after Haunter.
Yeah, Biofrost bail, but Haunter is now left alone. 1v4, can't hop to the journey. Santorin gets another kill.
And NRG are just playing this early game once again rather good. And now they're gonna get this turret. They're gonna be able to push, and there isn't much of an answer on the opposite side of the map.
I've started to see a bit more of this in the NALCS, but Taric Olaf's pretty good.
Yeah, he just rushes in with Bastion. Is insane.
NRG showing off the power there. TSM going to try and answer back with a Mountain Drake, but NRG should be able to get a tower here. Biofrost gets himself out to safety with the Magical Journey, and Quas going to get some local gold. This looks like a lane swap.
Yeah, it's the local gold, especially on a Jax. Fantastic, because he's the person that you want to have scale, and you don't always get that luxury in standard lanes, because this was standard lanes reversed, and then the TP plays came through and the roam. So I actually kind of doubt that TSM get local gold when they get a turret down onto Hanzo. It's actually quite difficult to do that, because you have to win a fight like this right beforehand to have enough time to just leave your top laner there alone.
Another great read out here from NRG as well. Hanzo just can't go anywhere. And there's the other kill. Highly effective early game once again. Santorin and Kiwi Kid continuing to team up with Quas this time, I suppose, on the assist. And we're still back in those standard lanes, but NRG is still ahead. Up 1,000 gold now after that turret take. Everyone kind of still scaling up as well. Cassio Caitlin's going to take a little while to really power up. Double lift despite the early first blood. Still actually falling pretty significantly far behind in CS.
Yeah, and also the fact that OQ went for the build with the Cull as opposed to the pickaxe that Double Lift went for. He's eventually, in about 30 CS, going to have just another surge of gold on top of that. So OQ will hit his 2-item spike a bit faster.
And this might be another dive here. Kiwi Kid does have his ultimate back up, I believe. Svenskeren kind of in the arrow spots too. Knows that Santorin's now here.
Well, yeah, they have Kiwi Kids.
Oh, arrow again.
There they go.
Double lift. Oh, good ulti from Bifrost. But there's the Cosmic Radiance. All back down. Dazzle is there. And that's going to be one. Bifrost already dead as Double lift. Going to get dove here as well. They're just going to keep going. Sven does answer back in onto OQ. Double lift trying to stay alive. But Karma gets a double kill. Sven answers back.
Yeah, and here comes Bjergsen on that Cassiopeia. If he can pick up some kills, he can start to snowball the game. He has that tier.
Got his ulti, but he's no flash. Well placed Miasma, going to lock them down. Ulti, going to stun Santorin. Svenskeren gets another. GBM now going to go down as well as Bjergsen answers back.
And TSM even it up in gold again. And that's 3 kills going over to Svenskeren total, I believe, there. Just absolutely crazy. Now, see if he ends up going for the Tiamat build, but probably not. He's been a team player. He'll get the Sight Stone and then complete the Cinder Hulk and just roam around and keep vision of his jungle, especially against this Olaf. Keeping tabs on him is so important.
We've talked about it. TSM's proactive players always look good, but we're kind of worried about the reactive play after game 2. That was a great set of reactions there from TSM, despite the strong dive from NRG. And the game now right back to evens. We're going to watch this one again.
Yeah, this was fantastic from Bifrost because he's buying seconds here. That's all you need. He's just staying alive a little bit longer. Throws down the ultimate, hold me double lift, and comes out, gets stunned. He gets blown up, but double lift doesn't get stunned, so he buys time. OQ gets hit up by the turret and then ends up dying. Kiwi Kid takes aggro now, walk too far forward, and it just looked like NRG were not aware of who had aggro at what time during that dive, and Bifrost just bought the time necessary for Bjergsen to complete his roam.
And then great little follow-up there from Bjergsen. We talk about Cassio cutting people up with the Miasma. Very effective roam there. Bjergsen kind of beating GBM in effectiveness, I'll say, at least down to that bottom lane. So TSM right back in this game as the kills pretty much even up, and NRG is still up that 1 turret. So the fact that the gold is slightly ahead for TSM is good news. As Sven doesn't quite get stunned. Both Dazzle's going to miss. Looks like a 2v3 right now as Bjergsen with no ult. He can't really do anything versus Olaf. GBM able to get himself a kill, and now Sven could get dove here. Snares looking. Arrow lands in. Shut down from Santorin.
The flash was even blown by Bjergsen there, so he had a little bit of a panic flash. Thought he might have been able to get out of it, and NRG, almost took an extra shot there on OQ.
This Olaf play from Santorin, back-to-back games now, looking spectacular. NRG going to take another turret, and it almost looks like a whole new team. TSM dictated the pace the entire way through in game 1. Game 2 happens, you may be questioning, is it some like fun drafting, quote-unquote, from TSM? And no, NRG just know how to play with this comp, and they're playing aggressively.
Yeah, the Taric and the Olaf, like, if you have those 2 champions, their kits say, be aggressive, dive, go, you're invulnerable. Like, nothing's gonna happen to you when you do that, and they've been pulling the trigger on it. They end up, having it turned around on them in that last play, but I still think that this is something where it's pretty clean cut of what you need to do with this composition. Rush them down. Karma's going to help as well, but just the Taric has been proven to be so effective. Gets a flash, too. Like, I feel like he's going to go down anyway, and now that just leaves him up to counter ganks, or ganks in general, after this play.
OQ's arrows as well have been on point as he nails Svenskeren there in the mid lane. Bjergsen playing back, he's lost his tower.
Yeah, he was landing on a ward too, so they have full vision of him and where he is and who's coming to reinforce him.
TSM gonna have to, again, play defensively for a little while longer. 2,000 gold down now as NRG. Nice little lead for themselves. They don't have a Drake, but Ocean will be up in 50 seconds if they want to try for that. Blue buff now going over to GBM. Sven stole the last one. So everything going in the right direction here. And even though that gold lead is pretty much the 2 turrets that NRG have, if TSM don't get them, while they're expected to get that gold at some point in the game, NRG pretty much shut them out last time. TSM going to have to hold for a little while longer and kind of claw their way back in here.
Santorin going to try to chase down the flash with Bjergsen.
He does not care, but the damage he might have to start carrying about Bjergsen does get him on the other end as TSM going to turn it around. GBM Get follow flashed on by Haunter. He's going to slow him. Ace in the hole! Oh! Haunter, you scumbag!
He's lucky he's like 3 seats away from double lift. Probably would have got hit in the shoulder after that one. Still, he's got to earn it.
Well, we talked about it. He's still at 0 kills. Big old bagel in the kill column. Oh, he has 1. I can't
He's got
read.
1. Dang it. Yeah, he's 4 away.
The Pentadream is dead.
996. I know.
I looked at Uki's score for a second there. Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
TSM going to start the Ocean Drake for themselves and add another one to their inventory. Ocean Drake stacked up. It's going to add in nicely to their mountain. And TSM starting to, again, kind of counter some of NRG's aggression here. Santorin's still a little too far forward here.
Yeah, he just tunnels right through. Like, this is the Olaf problem where you're tunnel visioning. Like, I can go in. Everybody else on your team is like, I can't follow you. Okay. And this is what happens. You trail off, and Haunter, it's great because
Sven's Prey Seeker.
Yeah, Sven, like, helped out, but Haunter was helping out, so they both helped too much.
I bet they were helping. I mean, I think Haunter, after the Siva Penta, said he should have stolen it. Maybe this is his way of keeping double lift out. We'll have to see. TSM not quite back in the green just yet. NRG still have the gold lead, but Towers starting to get knocked down. NRG did lose their mid turret after that exchange as well, so map geography kind of back to even here. NRG still with plenty of room to maneuver around, and Quas with that Trinity Force might struggle to threaten right now, but NRG actually going to group up as 4, take down an outer. That'll give them back to the gold lead.
Yeah, they're all on the bottom side, though. This is 4 members here. GBM is actually playing to this side. They might lose the top side turret, but trap line.
Double lift requires assistance.
Yeah. Santorin just really going after double lift over and over and over again. This turret's going to go down. Really good rotation here from NRG. They can get 2 turrets for 1, if that. Haunter has no TP, so there's no way he joins the side.
Very clean. Although Haunter, I guess, is just looking to trade here. Going to take the top lane outer turret if things go to plan. NRG, though, continuing to rotate. Bjergsen, what are you doing there?
He's trying to clear out that wave and then go top so that they have to push mid back in before they can go to top and answer it. So it gives Haunter a little bit more time if he wants the option to actually push forward, and then all TSM can actually reinforce him on the top side.
A little far forward, but doesn't cost him. Smart play there from TSM. Make sure they can protect their Cassiopeia. Haunter continuing to pressure in as well. Quas will jump up to top lane here to meet the minion wave, so he's going to get some CS for himself. Haunter now going to back away as Arrow sails in, hits Haunter. He's back in the mini form, and Quas ignores it. Wants the CS instead.
It's too valuable. This is guaranteed money. Don't know if that Gnar is going to get away. And Svenskeren was also off on the wings. And yeah, to touch back on that minion wave point where Bjergsen's pushing forward to push it up, minions, you know, of course, they give you the vision. So in that situation, you have to think of them as like advancing wards for you to see if anybody crosses the mid lane to go to the top side. So they're helping out their top laner there. And ultimately, it still helps out the bottom lane too. Everybody tried to go back top because Haunter pushed forward, so they answer with the tier 1 on the opposite side.
Great little exchange of pressure there from TSM as they more or less even out the gold lead. Still behind 1 turret, but nothing too crazy there. Kiwi Kid checking for survivors in the bottom lane, but doesn't see anyone. Both Bio and Doublelift will get out of that situation pretty cleanly. And Bjergsen continuing to scale up. Looks like Rylai's is next on the agenda. Does have that Morello Nomicon built up already. And of course that tier still charging up. So kind of early items out all over the place here. Runan's done for Doublelift there on the Caitlyn. SM3 Vazil there for OQ. And with the gold being nice and even between the two teams overall, TSM really just hold that Drake advantage, NRG with the turret advantage, and we're almost 20 minutes in here as we crest the 19-minute mark. Probably the closest game we've had between these two teams so far in the series.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm looking at where the gold disadvantages are, and it's mostly 80 carry versus the jungle. So Sven is up about 800 gold, whereas Doublelift is behind about 900. So OQ with the cull popping as well as having a CS advantage is all culminating into that.
Bjergsen could be in a bit of trouble here. OQ trying to line up an arrow. Bjergsen does have cleanse, but can't really be stopped by the Tarek Olaf Karma dive. NRG don't pull the trigger just yet though, and the rest of TSM are here to defend.
Arrow whips, even if it hit, still has cleanse.
Pretty hard to kill the old Cassio with all summoners up, so NRG think better of the dive, and wisely so. We've got Haunter and Quasto still doing battle in that top lane.
Yeah, and that's the thing is this top lane has been relatively untouched for a very long time, and it's a Jax. Like, he got solo turret gold, maybe play to him for a little bit, help him open up that advantage even more, then you can leave him alone. But right now, He just can't seem to create even more of an advantage against this Gnar than he had before.
Nice tunnel there from Sven. Gets himself out to safety there. Dazzle not quite in range. As looks like a collapse actually. Biofrost nails GBM. Haunter about to go mega. Wallops him in the face. GBM dead. Oh, scoop back in. Biofrost able to get that first kill. And TSM leap forward. Quas the next target gets unborrowed, knocked up there by Sven. And he's going to be locked up for a little while longer. Quas does leap strike out of the way, but Biofrost bends around looking for another. Gets one down. Now looks for OQ. Stun misses. And OQ firing back in. Bjergsen locks him down. Ace in the hole. Just a bit of damage.
Yeah, not much at all. He went for the attack speed and then got those BF sword and pickaxe when he had the pickaxe before. So wanted the Runaan's completion, whereas OQ went the opposite route, looked for the crit.
Here's Sven again. Haunter jumps back in, Frozen Mallet helping out. Can't be disabled. Ragnarok pops. Kiwi though, stunned on the other end after the flash damage is there. Haunter gonna get that next kill. TSM starting to show real signs of life.
Yep. At the same time, Haunter picking up so many kills for himself. Sven Skaren, 3, 1, and 7, 100% kill participation. He's been doing work on this Rek'Sai. And his gold total, where he's just doing way better than Santorin at the moment, jumped out to 1,000 gold lead. Arrow?
Arrow nails no one?
No one.
Up, sailed right down through the bottom lane.
Yeah, Quas TP'd to try and get to the other side and maybe flank and pincer from the where the arrow was coming in, but it doesn't work out.
Not bad positioning though. Baron is a potential threat as NRG are going to transfer their vision over. Ocean Trek also up in 3 seconds. NRG, whoa! Alrighty.
Broke. They don't have Taric there yet, so their team fight is really weak.
All right.
They started up just to kind of get them to check.
TSM passed the test.
They were doing it though, and TSM know it. Because they saw it regen and they saw that it was spitting all over the place.
Santorin a little low. Gonna get some health back. Actually goes back to base, so it won't stay out jungling for now. As we'll watch this little exchange again.
Yeah, Haunter just walks up, leaps forward and throws the Q out. Gets the slow. And then GBM was just trying to help. Gets walloped, slammed against the opposite wall, which is the perfect way to throw that Gnar as well. Gets the kill before the Cosmic Radiance goes off. And now that trap comes down and Quas wants to avoid it from going to the right, so he has to go down, jump over the wall. Still ends up dying though, but doesn't step on the trap and gets stopped. So, you know, playing his best there. Double it. That's kind of that's a frustration ace in the hole. You guys didn't give me those last 2 kills.
Yelling at Bjerg to be like, do more damage!
Flash forward!
I need this kill. NRG back on the Baron though. TSM looking to make them pay. Haunter stun. Now the Cosmic Radiance out from Taric. Haunter does not go mega. GBM nails the shutdown.
Yeah, that was awesome from NRG because they were just piling onto him. Haunter almost transformed. He almost was able to get a flash Gnar, and it would have been a 5-man, but they convert it into a kill before he can, and now TSM posturing up.
This is so dangerous. Quas gonna pull away. NRG, I think, trying to bait them into the pit. Firefrost looking around, and now Santorin pops the ultimate. Sven taking damage on the other side, but Bjergsen's got out safely. Double it, trying to get some kills. The Sven takes out Santorin. GBM gonna have the ulti blocked by Biofrost.
Double stop with the
OQ and Kiwi Kid there. Double stun lands in after the Biafrost. Double it. Gets one onto OQ. Looking for a Quas again. Tries to get it. Oh, it's stolen. TSM on to Baron though.
Still. 4 for 1 when everything is all said and done, and GBM's the only one to get away. Or, get away. Maybe I speak too soon. The Baron stealing Master, not gonna happen today. There's a ward right there.
Much too soon. Damage is good though. Double if Dolly wants him.
He's buying time. Oh.
TSM do manage to secure the Baron. Sven gonna smite it away and double lift. Hungry for 3 more kills, sitting at 997 right now.
So close to having that 1,000 mark for himself.
So watch this one again. This is a little too aggressive from NRG, I think.
Yeah, this is great though. I actually really like the stun. Follow up into the point blank Ash Arrow is what was the chain CC there to keep Haunter under control. And then they just keep skirting back and forth. And this is where it's really confusing because they start it back up again before they sweep Vision out, which is just like a deliberate, why is Kiwi Kid in the back? At that point, you just have everybody in the front of the pit, hitting him over the wall, etc., so that Kiwi Kid can get range for another Dazzle because he stays out of range of the backline here and has to play on the back foot. As soon as Santorin goes down, gets caught out there, and he still has Exhaust as well, right? He still has Summoner spells available to him to help this catastrophe from going that direction. And I just feel like the positioning from NRG when they got in the pit, it was kind of step 1, let's get in the Baron pit. Step 2 was like, okay, well, we didn't posture for that. We didn't think ahead.
Real MVP blocks the arrow there that was aiming at Double Lift's head. 4,000 gold ahead with the Baron buff. TSM surge forward and going to try and break the base. Quas with no teleport is split pushing.
Yeah, this is the top lane tilt where you're just like, I'm gonna go in the game by myself, see what happens. He backs though, and so does Hanser. So
He has TP though.
yep,
Quas going to have to wait a little while longer till that summoner gets back up.
that still causes enough pressure to pull off Hanser though. Quas has his own TP now, but it's mostly about joining this fight. And there goes Santorin. He wants double
They
it.
need to save double it. Magical journey out. He does get to safety. Bjergsen kills Santorin in the front line. Ace in the hole. Hits Kiwi Kid, not going to assassinate GBM. And TSM going to leap forward and try and clean out the rest of NRG. They'll take the inhibitor if they can get it. NRG have to be careful. Biofrost lands a big ulti, but it's just on a couple minions.
Yeah, he got 3-man ulti if you consider minions man. So, you know what? I'll do that for today. Great ultimate there from Biofrost. Hits 3 minions, but still not enough for them to convert into anything else.
Get the mid inhib though, so it's not too bad there for the rest of TSM as they'll look to maybe siege down a little bit more. Santorin, 5 seconds left.
Yeah, Santorin ready to come back.
The power of Caitlyn. Good little trap line there for TSM.
I feel like NRG are just trying to play spoiler here and trying to just stop Double Lift from getting 3 more kills.
I think so too. Arrow lands, hits Bjergsen this time, but doesn't burn the cleanse. He knows he's safe. Haunter pops out of the dazzle there as Kiwi can take it too much damage. There's one for
2
Double Lift.
more!
Needs a couple more. Spangin to line up the next one. Santorin goes down, but Double Lift's still cutting away. He's actually dead, so that's a bit awkward, and TSM gonna try and clean up the fight by themselves.
Yeah, they just go straight after Double Lift every time. Santorin does not want him to hit that mark. Wants him to have to wait months before he can try again.
2 kills left, and TSM will take the top inhib and back away. Huge lead for TSM in this game. But not too many chances left for Double Lift. There are minutes left in this game, potentially.
The crowd wants blood!
Crowd's been very vocal today. I love it. Let's all watch this again.
Yeah, Double Lift, you know, right in the front there. The arrow ends up, this is right afterwards where he had to just kind of kite back, and Quas, boom, pops him, and it looks like that exhaust probably wasn't going to help too much anyway, and so they have to continue the fight without him. They do get the top inhib. That's 2 down, and now they just have to play towards the bottom side of the map.
I feel like Double Lift's not doing himself any favors picking Caitlyn in this game. Because he is not only do they want to kill him to play spoiler, but he's actually a great target for them to kill. So Double Lift knows he's an 80 carry. He's got 3 items right now, plus a red potion. Double Lift is maximizing his power right now because he can feel those 2 kills coming his way.
Yeah, he's trying to reach for those kills too. He's like, rapid fire cannon, let's go, let's play Caitlyn. Let's outrange him, ace in the hole. If any stragglers, you know, get away.
He's not going to get scumbagged by Sven and Haunter again.
Well, I don't know. It's been happening a lot.
He's doing everything he can.
Sven still got that 100% kill participation. He's been doing work.
Well, TSM going to take another turret. NRG going to struggle to try and defend here as TSM enter the closing minutes of this game. If NRG can hold on, remember they've got a 8th place promotion spot, or 1st place promotion, I should say, finishing 8th in the regular season. But TSM, we're going to try and finish that record.
There they go.
Santorin dives in. They're going to try and cut it up for Double Lift. Double Lift needs to look for a few more, but not quite enough yet. Biofrost, big ultimate lands in onto GBM, but Kiwi Kid going to try and move them around. Double Lift. There's more. There's more. Oh, that's not it. Kiwi Kid, the next one. Oh, no, that's not it either. You're kidding me.
999. Quas and Oki are the remaining members. Quas jumps in.
What are you doing?
The giver.
He's going to try and get it. He's going to donate it over Quas. There it is. Hunter steals it. Dive the fountain, TSM. You know you want to.
They've done it so many times before to set up pentakills in the past. That's how Double Lift has gotten a lot of his back on CLG, and they're going to try it.
Oh, they went in too early. Hunter about to go mega. Here we go. Hunter's in. Looking for it. Oh,
he gets it!
Gets 1,000 kills.
Double Lift!
And that's it.
1,000 kills for his career in the regular season of the NALCS.
And what a way to end your final game of this summer. Double Lift puts one hell of an exclamation point on TSM's best ever season.
And with a bow on top, it's exactly 1,000. Nailbiter, last moments there, pulls it out.
Hunter is a scumbag. His team tried so hard.
He was the sacrificial lamb at the end, though. He jumped in first. He tried to pay for his sins.
And Double Lift, at the last possible moment in the game, gets his 1000th kill and a Nexus for his trouble, and TSM finished 17-1.
What a sweet way to end it as well. On that 1000th kill, 17-1, the best in the history of the organization for TSM. Absolutely dominating split for the entire squad, start to finish.
See double lift there on your screen. Looking pretty pleased with themselves. NRG all huddled around, knowing that could be a tough road ahead in the promotion tournament, but a strong showing today despite the loss. Couldn't get that extra space forward, unfortunately for them, but certainly a team we could expect to see again. They've seemed to improve so much. Double lift, waving at the fans once again. What a great, just cherry on top.
Wouldn't
as he
have
moved
it
into
any
playoff.
other way.
No, of course not. You might even say no. I'm not going to say it. It's almost like it's written sometimes. That was about as dramatic as we could have made that, short of the pentakill that I envisioned before.